Hello and welcome to FANTV, the show that football fans are talking about. Do not adjust your sets, things are all a bit up in the air today, and I'm going to try and explain. Saturdays are usually the domain of the lovely Kiri Bloor, but we've had a bit of a switch around this week, and Toby was supposed to be hosting the show. However, Toby is currently being a bit of a prima donna and has refused to come on. Now, if you've been following the show, you'll have seen that he upset Alex, the Liverpool fan, a little over a week ago. Well, in an incident which we are now calling Toby Gate, Alex's mates have responded with a campaign to try and oust Mr. Tarrant, called #TarrantOut. As luck would have it, I just popped in to pick up my sunglasses as we were about to go on air and got roped into kicking off proceedings. But I can't stay, I'm afraid. Now, come on, Toby. You're being a silly goose. I happen to think that gentleman had a lovely hairstyle. You wouldn't like it if we made fun of your hairstyles, now would you? Now, come on, if you're going to dish it out, you've got to be able to take it. I can't stick around, so let's take a look at the highlights of last night and we'll see if we can get silly goose Tarrant to stop with the big hairy strop routine. Have a look at this.
But our researchers, so blame them, they're at the back there.
Right.
They say they were in nursery when you first started managing.
Cheers, boys.
Yeah, thanks. That was their fact.
And it has been tough, but you have to get over anything that's thrown your way, any challenges. Try and be positive and look for a way to get over them rather than whinge and moan about it.
I remember Liam Brady used to come in and say, "Hey lad, you need to sort yourself out, lad."
What accent is that?
I'm trying my best. Help me.
You don't need to speak Spanish, plenty of English.
Sweet.
It's all right, Rowan's fluent though.
In Irish.
Do you think that it is sort of an elitist way of picking for the England squad? Do you think that unless you're part of a big club?
I'm going to leave that to you because I'm a bit, you know, I've got problems here. So.
No problems. Get them off your chest first.
Yeah, and Dean Saunders did an export.
I thought that was going to happen.
I'm a big lad, so it doesn't take a lot to move.
Pull it forward.
Oh, you're coming to me again.
Welsh fans, what is it like? Because you're Rugby Nation. There's been talk.
You,
No, Matthew's got angry. Come on. Defence at Chelsea. What can fix that?
Well, I think the issue... this is coming from a guy who's got Lauren Koscielny at the back for Arsenal. That's a different story.
Are you actually serious?
This is a guy talking from a defence that was completely...
You're still plugging on John Terry, he's like 38. He's
that's
got
the issue Chelsea have got. They haven't replaced John Terry sufficiently. Until they do, they're going to have these issues.
You're missing Zuma,
they haven't got
That's
lead
what
there.
you're missing.
No, they're not. They're not missing Zuma. They're missing John Terry.
Oh
they're
my
not missing
God.
Zuma.
Okay, Joey Barton.
I spoke about him the last time.
Legend. I've got a lot of time for Joe Parton.
It just went on a quick decline, didn't it?
Yeah.
It was one thing and then another. Okay,
I think
so
he's come up here thinking he's invincible.
has he?
So he's come up here with a big mouth. He's nobody to back it up. He's been in a training ground bust-up. He's been in a manager bust-up. He's now been caught with a betting scandal.
Sounds like the perfect person for Scotland.
Sounds like an England manager.
Yeah.
Sounds like an England manager, doesn't he?
Look, Toby, mate, you got to go on. We need you to host the show today, mate.
I'm not going on. I'm not going on.
Mate, look, it's only a couple of fans, right? It's
No, it's not. Have you seen the abuse I'm getting? They're sending letters to my home.
Look, all you guys get abuse, mate. How can they be sending letters to your home, really?
I don't know how they got hold of my address. Your guess is as good as mine, Kenny, but my mum's worried. #TarrantOut coming through the letterbox every 15 minutes.
Every 15 minutes? Look, it's only a couple of thousand fans, Toby. It's nothing to worry about. Just stop being a prima donna and get out there and host the show.
Look, I'm not mentally in the right place to go on tonight.
Look, okay, well, look, just get it. Let's do a couple of parts, and if it doesn't work, we'll try and get Justin back to fill in.
I'm dressed like Tom Hiddleston in The Night Manager. I look ridiculous.
Oh, Toby, look, I can't argue with you about this any longer. We're on air, okay? But what are we going to do if you don't go on there? I need you, Toby, please, mate.
Oh, well, I'm going on, but I'm pulling a Wayne Rooney. I want a wage hike.
Well, I can't promise you anything, but I'll talk to the boys, okay?
This level of abuse isn't right.
No, it's not. I agree, it's not right, but let's just do the show and we'll deal with this later, okay?
Okay, fine.
Okay, Johnny, can you just get him wired up? He's going to go on, mate. Thanks. Let's just do it.
They better boost my wages. Thanks, Johnny. Right, here's what's coming up tonight on FANTV. With the Premier League on an international break, we will be looking ahead to the England game against Malta this evening. Kicks off in about an hour. Josh, Joseph and Ola will be on the lime green sofa to give their thoughts on that match in just a few minutes' time. Ben, the Magic Mod, is back to lighten the mood with his sleight of hand. I don't think it will help Scotland's chances much against Lithuania, but Stuart's going to be on the sofa as well, and he may have different views on that. They'll be with me at 5 o'clock, and then from 6 o'clock, we'll be talking all about the joys of supporting 7th tier Whiteleaf with Adam Thomas and Connor. They're going to be joining me, and don't forget there is plenty of League 1 and 2 action today going on at the moment, and we will be bringing you all the score updates as they happen, as well as the international scores and anything else we fancy dipping into as well. That's what's coming up here on FANTV. Let's get some fans on here with me. First up, it's Josh, Joseph and Ola. Come on, Josh, Joseph. Come on, chaps. How are we doing? All right, good to see you, mate, again. How are you doing, all right? Good to meet you. Hello, hello, hello. How are we, chaps?
Yeah, good, thanks.
You're going to be nice to me, aren't you?
Of course.
Thank you, thank you. We have had the England team in. It's just been announced. There's a couple of surprises in there. I just want to get your reaction with it straight away. The first one, I want to aim at you, Jesse Lingard, making his full debut for England. You must be chuffed for him.
Yeah, he's been playing quite well for United on the left. Or on the right, depending on where he decides he's going. I don't know. Mourinho's just told him to switch sides, I think. But yeah, he's been playing all right.
He surprised. Did you think when you first laid eyes on Jesse Lingard that he'd be a fully fledged international?
Not when I first laid eyes on him, no. Going out on loan and coming back, and he'd have a couple of games in the cup maybe. But then he got sort of playing a bit more last season. He's been playing this season. Looks sharp so far this season. Quite quick when he's been playing. Yeah, he's playing well. I didn't think he'd start when he was announced in the England squad. Thought he might get a sub appearance, but no.
Made up for Malta at home. Doesn't get much easier than that as debuts go.
It'll be good to see how he gets on.
I'm not going to ask your opinion on this. I want to see what these guys have to say about the fact that Wayne Rooney starts for England, captains England, of course, and he will be playing centre mid as well. We've got the full team is up there, but by the look of it, we think Wayne Rooney is going to be playing in the centre mid. What do you guys make of that?
I think when Rooney is the sort of player that divides opinion, doesn't he? You could look at his club form, the last European form in the European tournament, but it's a different approach now from Gareth Southgate. You know, you might get something out of Wayne Rooney that all the other managers haven't been able to prize out of Wayne Rooney so far. So yeah, we'll see.
Does it annoy you that Mark Noble can never get a look into the England team in centre mid, but just to shoehorn Rooney in, he's now playing in the middle of the park for England?
I don't want to badmouth Mark Noble, but he doesn't warrant a place in English squad at the moment. Sorry, I love Mark Noble, but yeah, I think the worrying thing for me is the fact that we're having to, like you say, shoehorn Rooney in. Screams of the dearth of talent that we've got in that central midfield. You know, if you go back 10 years when you couldn't fit Paul Scholes into the centre of that midfield, and now Rooney is having to play there. You know, it's interesting saying that can Southgate get something out of him? I mean, if Mourinho can't, then I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's a very, very good point, isn't it? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Is Danny Drinkwater injured?
Danny Drinkwater is not injured, as I know. I think he just didn't.
He's not even in the squad.
Didn't make the squad again.
He's one that could sort out the field.
Well, this is kind of what I mean. I mean, is it not ridiculous that if you're going to play Wayne Rooney, who is a centre forward, he has to play as a centre forward, doesn't he? The fact that we're kind of mollycoddling him and finding room for him in the centre mid, you're putting another centre mid out of work.
Maybe, but I think on his recent performances for United in the centre forward role, I don't think he's played that well.
No.
In the cup, we played.
Northampton.
He played up front and he didn't score. Mourinho said before the game, I expect goals from him. I want goals from him, and he didn't score. So he said, I think in an interview this week, that he wants to be allowed to make the transition. So if he's ready to change his own position.
As a guy that watches him every week like you do, and you know him better than the rest of us do, where is Rooney's position going forward as a player?
Well, he used to be number 10. I thought he was really good in number 10 when he played alongside like Ronaldo, Tevez, Berbatov. He's always played number 10 or on his own up front. But now, I don't know, he seems to have lost pace He seems to drop a lot deeper than he used to. So I think maybe he wants to see more of the ball, and maybe he'll see more of the ball in midfield. I'd like to see it. He can certainly pass. He's got a good range of passing. I'd like to see him maybe be given a chance to play in that role.
Disappointing not to see that man Chris Smalling. Gary Cahill seems to be. It looks like Cahill-Stones is going to be the partnership going forward. I have to admit, I thought they were going to go Smalling-Stones. You're laughing in the middle. I mean, it seems like Chris Smalling to me should be on their own merit ahead of Gary Cahill, should he not?
After the last couple of weeks with Gary Cahill, we see what happened at Swansea. Apparently they said, he got fouled for the goal that went in after he slipped. Then, you move on to the Chelsea versus Arsenal game, and again, pretty much the same mistake as he made the week before.
I noticed he didn't come out and do one of his match of the day press conferences after the second mistake.
You start to think, what's Smalling got to do to, get into the team? And Smalling is a young English defender that I rate very, very, very highly, and it's a surprise. It's a surprise.
Does it disappoint you that it's very much the same sort of team that lost to Iceland just a few months ago, that we haven't moved on?
But did we imagine that Gareth Southgate was a revolutionary coach who in the space of 3 days was going to suddenly turn us into a dynamic side? The players we've got are the players we've got, unfortunately. And
I think he's got away with what he's got.
Really? And you think
who on that bench really screams out as
would you not like
Rashford.
Rashford was exactly the one I was going to look at on the bench. Even an argument for Mikel Antonio not getting in the team?
It's difficult, isn't it? Because your view of players is very much coloured by your affinity with the club. And Antonio's been
apparently
great.
not. You've already laid into Martin Nobles.
laid into the player I admire and want to be the most. Yeah. I mean, if Martin Nobles fair game, anyone's up for abuse. No, I don't know. The last few weeks, Antonio, he doesn't seem to be working hard as he once did. I don't know if it was that second season, feeling comfortable, like he made it at that level. But, West Ham are a shambles at the moment, so...
Maybe he didn't want to taint the rest of the squad by putting some West Ham players in there. We're going to take our first break, but we will react more to the England team that we've just seen in a few moments' time. Theo Walcott back in the England team, back starting. He's earned it, hasn't he, on his current form?
I think after the form he had last season, he was playing in a way where he wanted to get in the England squad, trying to prove something to Roy Hodgson. And I go back to that famous tackle he ducked at Sunderland when he jumped over the ball. And doing that, didn't even make the England squad. But it's like a rejuvenated Theo Walcott that we got now. I don't know what's happened to him. I don't know what Arsene Wenger's done to him. It's like an alien. He's kidnapped the old Walcott, and we've got a new Walcott now. But we like this Walcott, He's blocking shots, he's defending, he's tracking back, he's scoring goals. He's absolutely on fire at the moment, and I'm delighted for him.
As non-Arsenal fans, is it good to see, for England's sake, a Walcott in full flow, or do you think he's still not even at full tilt what we need going forwards?
I think he offers a different option. He's got pace, which I think we lacked quite a lot in the Euros. We didn't have any width, did we really, with the options we had on the bench? So
is he a bit of a Wayne Rooney in that he seems to have played his best football when he was 18 years old and not really gone up from there?
A friend of mine's a season ticket at Arsenal, actually, and after the Chelsea game, he came back and full of praise for him. I mean, do England need players like Theo Walcott at their best? Yeah, because we don't have enough quality, and Walcott is a natural finisher. In that respect, like you say, with the pace, the way he can stretch teams, I think he's probably one of the most frustrating players I've watched, even as a non-Arsenal fan, because...
It's a very knowing look from the Arsenal fan. They're going, tell me about it.
We've had to live with him for the last 10 years.
Live with him for the last 10 years.
We've had to live with him for the last 10 years, but, if this is the Theo Walcott that we've got going into this campaign and this season, including trying to get to the World Cup now, We definitely need Theo Walcott at his best. Like you said, he can get in behind most defenders. Most defenders, if Theo Walcott is in the mood, no defender really wants to play against him.
I mean, I think back to Liverpool Arsenal in the Champions League all those years ago when Walcott ran the length of the pitch to set up Adebayor. At that point, I thought, what a talent we've got here. You know, we've never really seen that again. I think for England's sake, if we could get that Theo Walcott back, would be brilliant. I want to move on to the manager. You touched on it briefly, Gareth Southgate. Is this part of the problem? You know, I said to you, it's pretty much the team that lost to Iceland all over again. Is it the fact that he's only got 4 games? He's not going to come in and make a big wholesale changes, is he? He's not going to be the one that goes, right, we're playing youth and we're doing this. And
well, what changes does he have to?
You know, I mean, I was surprised as the under-23 manager that he called up Glenn Johnson, for example. Yeah. do you know what I mean? I thought maybe we were going to go for, we'd see a Rashford starting, we'd go maybe Mikel Antonio, Smalling and Stones in the middle instead of Cahill, just a bit more, but he seems to have gone. Is that because he's gone, I've only got 4 games? I'm not going to be the guy that makes the wholesale changes.
He didn't want the job at first, did he?
No.
Before, I don't know if he got offered
the job. And then I think they offered him £500,000 for 2 months' work. And he went, do you know what, I will take that.
Yeah, I'd have taken that. Next time it's round, next time it's up for grabs, I'll chuck my name in the hat.
Yeah.
The thing is, when he was in charge of the under-21s, I don't know with how much people regard it, but we did go to the Toulon tournament, we did win. He's got experience of playing tournament football. And that under-21 side played some decent football as well, as much as they could. So I don't think it's necessarily as bleak as some people would point out. Was it really that exciting to have Allardyce as manager?
No. Well, funnily enough, Ian Wright came out and said that he thinks Gareth Southgate is more qualified for the job than Allardyce ever was. Do you agree with that? That's one of your old boys there, Ian Wright. I mean, it's a big claim, isn't it?
Can England be in a relegation battle? If they can, then Allardyce is your man.
That's it.
The only way I think about that is if you want an England team that's going to be more solid at the back, because we've always been quite leaky, Sam Allardyce is probably the man you want for making a team solid, especially if you're using the resources that he's got on hand and not buying players in. Because he's never been at clubs where they've been able to sort of buy £50 million centre-backs to solve his defensive problems, and yet all of his team seems to be pretty compact at the back and defensively quite strong. So,
but I think what Ian Wright's trying to say there is, you look at Gareth Southgate and how long he's been in the England setup. He knows all the kids, that's gone through the youth setup, coming into the senior setup, because a few years, I think it was a couple of years ago, where Southgate was kind of saying we need to allow the kids to stay in the under-21s. People like Oxlade, people like Townsend, Rashford, for example, when they play the under-21 games and then they get called up into the senior, they don't take the under-21s that seriously because they're getting that call up from the senior squad. So he knows the ones that are hungry, the ones that will work for him. And I think that's what Ian Wright's trying to say, because he's got that background, he's in that setup, and he's been there for a long time.
He's done tournament football, which Sam
right.
like you said, unless England are in a relegation battle, what experience does Sam Allardyce have in the first place? Let's talk about that kid, Marcus Rashford. I mean, I'd imagine it's going to be a bit dull affair at times today, England versus Malta, but the biggest cheer of the day will be when he comes on off the bench, don't you think? I think
he's got to come on at some point.
He's got to come on at some point, hasn't he? Surely he's going to come on at some point. The nation have warmed to him, haven't they? It's not just Manchester United fans. I think everybody's got a bit of a soft spot for Marcus Rashford. I use the Iheanacho example sometimes, whose actually goal-scoring record is better than Rashford. They're kind of different players, but are we building up Rashford a bit too much sometimes, do you think? Or is he as good as you watch him more than we do? Is he as good as you think he is?
I think he's as good as people say he is.
Really?
I think he's got a lot to learn still, but it's refreshing to see someone just get the ball and run at the defender, beat his man, and 9 times out of 10 he does beat the man as well. And then he looks either to play it or to finish. And that's refreshing.
I mean, that Iceland game when he came on and he ran at their fullback and beat him 3 times in a row, it was the only bit of excitement the whole game. Does it worry you? I was at the Iceland game, regrettably, of a friend of mine. I turned to him and I said, and afterwards we were so upset. We talked about how Rashford was brilliant when he came on, and we said, but is it because he's not been tainted yet by being around that England setup much? He's not been dragged down to their level yet. Like, you look at Theo Walcott or Wayne Rooney when they burst into the England team, they're a breath of fresh air. I'm afraid of the media that's dragging him down to becoming just another English player soon enough.
I was saying off air earlier on that I personally didn't think it was right for Rashford to go to the last Euros, and I thought maybe somebody like a Defoe should have been brought there just simply for his own development, because I think usually when we stumble onto gems like Rashford, we tend to put a lot of media pressure on the young ones, and a lot of expectation often falls on the shoulder. And Rashford is an exciting young player that's burst onto the scene, and I think he needs that time to grow and reach the full potential of what he can really do. And you know, he's going to be great for club and country.
Yeah, we hope so. Certainly.
I see.
We've got Jay on Skype, I think, who is an England fan. Jay, are you there, mate? Hi, Jay.
Yeah.
How are you doing? All right?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very, very well. I can see you're a Wigan fan, but also a big England fan as well. We're just talking about Marcus Rashford. Does it worry you? Because at the minute he plays with such almost abandon that we're not used to from English players. Does it worry you that the longer he spends in the England setup, he's going to get tainted and he's going to become just another England player?
No, not really at all. I've seen a lot of interviews with Chris Rashford, and he's seems like a very level-headed footballer. Sure, being around such a good quality set of players will help his development even further. There's no harm being around players such as like Gary Cahill, who's a good leader. Players like Rooney, who he obviously sees a lot being at United, but I think Rashford will enjoy the experience, and I'm sure he'll get some game time today.
Are you disappointed not to see him start today? I mean, it's Malta at home. If ever there was a game to give Rashford a run out, surely this is it.
Yeah, it's kind of disappointing, really, but I'm not Gareth Southgate. I can't make the decisions, but I think Sturridge does need a few goals for England. He's not really scored in a while since the game against Wales, so it'll be nice if he gets a few goals. But I'm hoping we'll see quite a few today.
Can we learn anything from these next two games for England, or is it just simply take your 6 points and move on?
I think we can learn a bit more about Southgate. I think it was a very good decision by the FA to let him be the interim manager and not rush into the next appointment. Obviously, we've had Hodgson, who he won all of his qualifying games, but he didn't really meet the expectations at the major tournaments. Allardyce, you can't really comment because there's a lot of corruption with it, but I think it will actually tell us what Southgate's all about, and whether is it potentially an opportunity for him to prove that he is ready for that job. Who knows what the FA are thinking, but two solid performances might help Southgate.
I just want to throw that to the sofa. I mean, do you guys think that Southgate is going to get the job full time? I mean, I know it's all hypothetical at the minute, but it worries me that I look at the fixture list, the Spain friendly aside, okay, there's a game against Scotland which we should win. I could imagine him going in there, winning his 3 qualifiers, which England should, doing all right against Spain, and then they go, well, based on those 4, you've got to get the job.
So, but on that premise then, you're suggesting that there's better candidates out there who would maybe want the job? Like it's a doomsday scenario, like Southgate gets the job.
I was just thinking then, if it's not Southgate, who's it going to be? Like, I don't really know.
Well, I think the media does, they do a lot in helping of strong arm in the FA into deciding who gets the job. Because if you look at today's papers, it's all over today's papers about this tax evasion thing that Gareth Southgate is about, and the next thing they're trying to taint the caretaker manager now, and it's gonna force their hands into doing something that maybe they hadn't had the intention of doing in the first place. So I think reasonably he should get the job because he's been around the setup, like I said earlier on. I think he knows the lads, he knows the up and coming lads, the lot that are hungry, the lot that want to play for him. So it would be a good appointment if he was to get it.
I'm not sure if it's just about winning the games for Southgate now. I think he's got to try and win them comfortably. Like Malta, we should beat comfortably. Scotland beat them 5-1 away. Yeah. So if we're playing at Wembley, surely we should be beating them 6-0, something like that. Yeah. Scotland as well, we've got to win that one. But if they struggle to win, I don't know if that's going to be sort of...
Do you see this, Jay, as an audition for the full-time job for Gareth Southgate these next 4 games?
Yeah, definitely. It's a perfect opportunity. He's never had one like this. I think it's actually very important for the England players to obviously react to the new manager, well, not new manager, the interim manager, but no, it's a good opportunity, and he kind of needs to let the players know what he wants from them. And you can argue recently there's been a little bit of lack of passion of late, because in the past you see players doing everything to represent England, and now it's just it was a shambles watching us lose to Iceland. But no, if Southgate does a good job, he'll put himself in a good position.
Sorry, Jay, while you were talking there, they said that it looked like, because you've left a gap to your side, it looks like you have an invisible friend sat next to you, and then they superimposed a picture of Tom Hiddleston in The Night Manager. I definitely have come dressed as Tom Hiddleston from The Night Manager. There we go.
Very intense.
Sorry about that, Jay. While that was going on, you were spot on about Gareth Southgate. It is definitely an audition for the full-time job. What do we make of Gareth Southgate? I mean, this tax evasion thing that he's being talked about today, I mean, it's getting ridiculous now, isn't it? Can we find anyone in England who isn't involved somehow?
Well, everybody's involved, isn't it?
It seems like it, yeah.
To be fair, our former Prime Minister got away with some pretty outrageous tax evasion type deals, so sure the England manager should be able to survive.
Yeah, exactly. At what point, where does the line get blurred? At what point do things that happen outside of football not have to impact football?
Well, you know, the thing with stuff that affect, well, footballing matters that affect the football. In my opinion, looking at what happened to Sam Allardyce, I thought it got done for non-footballing matters. It didn't really have a lot to do with football. The FA did know about Sam Allardyce, and
I just think they thought it was never going to get.
if you're going to dine with the devil, you got to use a long spoon, haven't you? So.
Very well put.
But I think the problem is, from the FA's perspective, is, you know, and the British media, we went after the World Cup bids, went after all the corruption at FIFA and the illicit stuff that was going on there, and then if it's happening, you know, the FA, the way it tries to brand Team England, I suppose it can't be associated with that kind of behaviour. I mean, from a fan's perspective, did any of us care during Euro '96 that Terry Venables had been up to nonsense? No, because England were wicked.
Yeah.
And it was just a great time to be an England fan. So
I think that's spot on. I think football fans are fickle. At the end of the day, it all comes down to football rather than anything else.
Look what Chelsea fans will let John Terry get away with.
You've got players getting cheered every Saturday when they score a goal who have been in jail for, you know, drink driving and stuff like that. It doesn't matter. Football fans just care about
playing again.
Yeah, exactly. Jay, we're going to let you go, mate. We're going to take a quick break, but thank you for Skyping us. What do you reckon the score is going to be today?
I'm going to be optimistic and say 6-0 England.
6-0 England. 6-0, I love that. Let's see if we can top that over the course of the show. Jay, thank you very much for Skyping us, mate. Enjoy the game. Hi there, welcome back to FANTV. We are about half an hour away from the England game kicking off at home to Malta, and I've got Joseph, John and Ola here on the lime green sofas. Here is what is still to come on FANTV this evening. With the Premier League on an international break week, we have been looking ahead to the England game kicking off against Malta at 5 o'clock. The boys are here with me and we have been chatting all about that. Also coming up, Ben the Magic Mod is back to lighten the mood with his sleight of hand, aren't you, Ben? You ready, Ben? Where's Ben? There he is in the corner, he's practicing his magic. Scotland fan Stuart's going to be here as well, talking to us about the chances his team have against Lithuania, and they'll be with me in a little under half an hour. And then from 6 o'clock, we'll be talking all about the joys of supporting 7th tier Whiteleaf with Adam, Thomas and Connor. Go on, Whiteleaf. There's all of that, and of course, we're bringing you score updates as they happen on all games playing as we speak as well. That's what's coming up here on the FANTV. Time to get back to the boys on the lime green sofa. Simone Zaza.
wow, you stitched me up that quick.
Straight in. While we're in the break, we've established that you've been getting a lot of Simone Zaza reviews. Apparently that's your doppelganger, is it?
Well, I'll take it, particularly if you've seen his lovely wife, but yeah.
Is your missus a doppelganger for her?
Don't have one. Thanks for bringing it up.
That's all right, anytime.
Cheers, mate.
If you are watching and you do have low self-esteem, he is available. So that could be, you could be taking that home later on. Let's talk about your team, who are doing worse than your love life, which takes some doing.
Yeah. Well, this is really sort of nice, light, frothy show. I'm about to bring a whole world of darkness and bleakness.
Sorry, I don't want to send you over like a
No, it's all right.
complex.
It's all right.
You're a strong kid.
Yeah, definitely.
We've got another member of #Terrant out, though. That's another one in the back. Starting to build up steam this round.
We're a small elite band at the moment, but we're growing.
18th in the table, won one game at home to Bournemouth. Last game, drew with Middlesbrough. And I spoke to a few West Ham fans who were happy with that point at home to Middlesbrough. I mean, does that show how badly it's been going?
Yeah. I mean, it's been shambolic on and off the field, which, as a West Ham fan, is not that entirely unsurprising. But yeah, the Watford and the Southampton games really stung walking out the ground. That real sense.
Especially as you're getting punched in the face on the way out as well by one of your own.
Yeah. I mean, I can laugh because otherwise I might have to cry. The atmosphere at the Southampton game was so toxic, and there's just so much. The team are performing really poorly. We're so porous at the back. We have seemingly no defensive structure whatsoever, and no means to or idea about how we're going to win the ball back. People around me are eating popcorn, which shouldn't annoy me, but it really does.
Well, they're eating popcorn.
Yeah, turn up 10 minutes late for the second half with popcorn.
It's not the one, is it? This one I want to ask you, I mean, I joked about the crowd travel, obviously there was more after the Borough game, but you went to both grounds. Was there this trouble at Upton Park? Is it the same fans causing trouble? I mean, what's suddenly, because suddenly it seems to be a massive spotlight on West Ham violence that I don't remember hearing that much about before. The Millwall in the League Cup. That's a special case.
Yeah, people running on the pitch and doing knee slides. Yeah. That's what you would do, though, isn't it? If you did run on the pitch, you would do a big knee slide.
That's a very good point.
I think part of the problem is that there's no coherent thought in terms of the migration policy out of the ground. I've been in plenty of times up to Park. There's been a negative atmosphere towards the players, but never so much towards one another. But these are some of the teething problems in terms of you've got sections who would have come from the Bobby Moore lower or the Trevor Brooking in the corner where people stood and sang loudly, and then there are people who maybe went from the family sections or for whatever reason don't want to stand up. Good luck to them. And so the whole ground is populated with this mismatch of different groups, and obviously the animosity maybe is being amplified by how poor we're playing.
Well, I mean, this is the thing. So Karen Brady came out in her column and she basically said that you just need to start winning football matches and then everything else falls into place. Do you think that's right?
To an extent. I do, because actually after we lost to Watford, I texted my dad and he said, mate, we lost 2-goal leads at Upton Park. We've been embarrassed at Upton Park many times. And there's an element of truth in that, but this place doesn't feel like home. Like, it's an amazing stadium. I'm sure like when they have the Champions League final there one year, or if there's ever an elite sporting event, it's beautiful from an objective perspective, but it doesn't feel like home. And there's that kind of existential question about the soul of your club and the identity of it. It feels pretty soulless at the moment. So yeah, maybe if we were winning, that wouldn't feel quite as a negative, but I still think it would be there, and it's going to take time for that to feel like home, because it really doesn't.
I mean, it's a tough one at the minute. I mean, the thing is, it's been blown up. There's nothing left of. You're not going back to Upton Park. There's the West Ham fans.
Are they using it for like a Mission Impossible or something?
At the moment.
Yeah.
So, but you need to draw a line on the sand. You're not going back to Upton Park. Does the West Ham fans need to like get their head around that? Do you think a bit?
Well, I don't necessarily think we've got an option, because, like you say, it's not like we can just chuck in the towel and say, oh, we'll head back now. There's no ground to go back to. There's a quarter of the ground that's been blown up. But that doesn't make it any easier to feel like it's home. I think it's just going to take a lot of time, and it's going to require the team and Bilic to start pulling some results, because that Southampton game in particular was as bad. Other than we got beat at home 3-0 by Wolves once in the Zola years, but apart from that Southampton game was
bad.
Was really bleak. Yeah, it was really bleak.
Obviously, Arsenal still relatively new to the Emirates. I mean, they've been there about a decade now, but it still feels quite new.
Yeah.
Do you remember the transition from Highbury to the Emirates, and whether there was similar problems?
Going back to when we moved from Highbury to the Emirates, I was saying to Zaza double.
Zaza double.
He's a really good looking guy. I'm not even offended.
That's amazing.
You know, that, basically, what's been going on at West Ham is almost, you know, identical to what we had to go through in the early times of moving to the Emirates, and it took an awful long time to adjust and just get used to the surroundings, because it was a much bigger pitch. You weren't as close to the pitch as you was at Highbury, and Highbury, you know, like bowling stadium, you know, they say it's a fortress, and you don't get that feeling straight away if you move into a new stadium. So.
Is it about like associating good memories with a stadium almost, and that's why Karen Brady's saying West Ham just need to win some games? Because suddenly, you know, you walk out of the London Stadium after you've beaten Man United 2-1 on a Monday night, and it's happy days again, is it?
Yeah, I mean the thing is, like you say, Upton Park or Highbury, maybe to a lesser extent, was a fortress, but there were plenty of times of going to Upton Park when it wasn't a fortress.
Quite a subtle dig there.
Yeah, it wasn't.
That's not deep.
People are digging each other out. You can also, I think you can also romanticise it. Like, there's been plenty of times I've gone to Upton Park where it was a dead atmosphere and there wasn't this kind of buzz in the crowd. But then, yeah, you have those moments like when we beat United that last game. These are the memories you can't. Or even things like we beat Ipswich in the playoff semi-final, Matthew Everton scored an absolute worldie, and yeah, you dine out in those moments, don't you? And at the moment, the only thing I associate with the London Stadium, and that's as an aside, I'm sure Gold and Sullivan potentially aren't listening to me, but that badge...
Big fans of the show.
They should be, with some of the guests you're getting on. That badge is, I think, symptomatic of part of the problem, because it's all this... when we grew up as kids, when we were down the park playing football, did any of us think about the brand?
No.
Because this is what seems to be, I associate with this new stadium, is the fact it's got London written on our badge. No, we're not London, we're East London.
Yeah.
But it's, and...
Yeah, it's quite a big place, yeah.
Yeah, London is massive. You know, the Central Line takes an hour and a half to get across. So do we represent all of London? I don't think so. And so, yeah, it's that... Where are those memories?
It's a very good point that you make there, that it's a club I associate with tradition, and they're always trying to drag it kicking and screaming into the 21st century like that. I think it seems to be. We're going to take a quick break, but I think you're absolutely spot on there. Why were you interested in the Crew score?
That's where I was born.
Oh, really? So they're kind of a second team?
Sort of, yeah. I used to have a season ticket. I had one for about 7 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I used to go with my mum and dad when I was younger.
No shame in that, you know, no shame in that.
All.
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about your main team, though, who, frankly, I'd support Crew if I was you, the way they're playing at the minute.
I'm not sure.
You seem surprisingly upbeat. I was going to come on here and give you lots of views, but you seem quite positive about the Man U situation.
I know we drew 1-1 with Stoke in the last one, but I didn't think the performance was that bad. Like, we created the chances, we just didn't finish them. Pogba missed probably 2, Zlatan missed a couple. Which we should have scored. We should have been about 4-0 up by half time. But the fact that we're creating the chances, and we last year we looked like we couldn't create chances. We had nothing going forward. The fact that we're creating chances and playing quite well in performances, keeping possession, is good. I think.
Paul Merson's come out and he's actually spoken some sense, which is the first time for everything. But he said that Paul Pogba and Ibrahimovic ignore everybody else, they only pass to each other and they play for themselves. Is that a bit harsh?
Yeah, I think that's harsh. I do think that's harsh.
That wasn't actually the bit that I agreed with him, Merson, I'll tell you that first, but let's respond to that bit first.
Well, I think when Zlatan first came, everyone was like, oh, he's so egotistical and so selfish and he's always like all about himself. And then the reports that were coming out in the fact that he was really helping the young players and he was like really welcoming and sort of, I don't know, took them under his wing and things like that. I don't think he'd be ignoring him on the pitch and things.
Yeah.
I think it'd be impossible for the two of them to try and do it by themselves anyway.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a harsh treatment. I think we have a tweet as well from a Manchester United fan about the big Wayne Rooney question. Do we have a tweet? Here we go. Seriously though, bet all Man U fans praying for one of those Malta guys to do a Roy Keane on Rooney, i.e. career-ending injury. Hashtag GoFundMe. Not holding back there, not holding back there. Bit harsh, isn't it? A bit harsh, isn't it?
Yeah, that's very harsh.
Wishing injury on a human being.
It's a bit much.
I'd say it's pretty distasteful.
Very distasteful.
I don't want him to start, but I also don't want him, I want him to be able to tuck his kids in.
He can still tuck him in, he just has 2 broken legs. It just takes him a bit longer. But I mean, that's obviously a bit much. But Wayne Rooney, do you think Mourinho has dropped him and he could come back and we could see Wayne Rooney? Or do you think he's too old to us ever see Wayne Rooney speak again?
I think Mourinho's taken him out of the spotlight a little bit. And I think maybe as well to try and give him a bit of a rest. So if you think for the past few seasons he's been playing pretty much every game for United, and then he was in the Euros as well, and he started every game for England, I think. I don't think he got dropped, did he? So he's probably taking him out of the spotlight, kind of give him a bit of time to sort of go, okay, I need to, I don't know, adjust to a new role, maybe. If he's taking him out to maybe give him a chance to sort of get used to playing in midfield before he puts him in to start there.
Do you think he could be world class again, Wayne Rooney?
Yeah, I think he could be. I certainly think there's a world class player in there somewhere still. I don't think there's any doubt in that. I just think that at the moment he seems to have sort of got a bit stuck with where he's at because he's maybe lost the pace he had, or he's lost maybe confidence that he had when he was younger. And the media have been on his back as well. They seem to give him an awful lot of stick compared to most other players. I don't know if that's true, but I think it seems like he gets more stick than most others.
His wages warrant that, wouldn't they?
Yeah, exactly. But then so would people's like maybe Walcott as well if he wasn't playing that well. But I don't see him getting as much stick.
It is a strange one.
Believe you me, he did.
we had some United fans on the sofa a few weeks ago, and they said a very good point to me. They turned around and said, for all the stick that Wayne Rooney gets, when he retires, he's going to be probably England's most captive player, top goal scorer, Manchester United's top goal scorer, and yet it seems like he spent 10 years getting abuse.
Yeah, although Peter Shilton came out, didn't he, last week and said, I don't think he's going to make my captain.
Exactly. He's got another 2 years in the World Cup. So I think Wayne Rooney, he's had so much pressure on him from a young age, and that's why, going back to Marcus Rashford, I do hope that he doesn't get the same sort of scrutiny, but I do fear he might.
I think Mourinho's doing a good thing with him as well, though, because he's not started him every game. Like most of the United fans were going to start Rashford, and he's been sort of holding back. And then the last couple of games, he started him and he's played well. But before that, he was bringing him on as sub-appearances, 20 minutes here, 30 minutes there, like trying to get him in, and he was scoring. But I think it's right not to start him every game, because that's when the pressure will start mounting on his back.
Talking about Rashford, do you think, signing a new contract in the summer and already he's being offered in another contract?
I don't agree with all the contract things. I don't agree with them. I don't think Rooney is worth £300,000 a week or whatever he's on now. It's probably more than that now. Yeah. So I completely agree. If they've offered him one last summer, was it, and now they're offering him a new one, at least wait until the season's over.
Would he have got a new contract this quickly under Sir Alex, or would he have said too much too soon?
Doubt it.
Doubt it. That's it, isn't it? I don't think he would have done. The bit that Paul Mercer said that I did actually genuinely think was very good was he said that the Europa League now for Manchester United, he thinks Mourinho's now actually looking at that because you qualify if you win it, and he said that basically the initial impression he got from Mourinho that he didn't care about the Europa League, and I think Mourinho thought he was in a title race, didn't he, at the beginning of the season?
Maybe, yeah.
Mercer thinks since they've lost a couple of games, he put a very strong team out against that Zorya Luhansk the other week. He's saying basically now the Europa League's a real target for Manchester United because top four's not nailed on by any stretch.
Maybe, although I think he still made changes against Zorya. I mean, he played Zlatan, didn't he? And Rashford came in. I think Lingard came in for that game as well. But I think it was more about him trying to see what players had got to offer alongside, like maybe with Zlatan playing up front, maybe trying to put them in and see what they're doing, because Zorya, all due respect to them, are a weaker opposition to what we play against in the Premier League each week. So
I don't think there's too many of their fans watching that will get offended.
Well, no, maybe not. But
I think you'll feel all right.
Cover myself just in case.
It's interesting though. I mean, do you think it's a tournament that realistically that Mourinho will go after?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, if we look at the league, I think, we're playing well, but we've still got things that we need to work on. And I'm not sure that we've got the sort of cohesive team that we could do with to win the title. I think
I don't think we've got that much strength in depth either sometimes, maybe. If certain people get injured, then we're a bit lacking, maybe. So, yeah, I think maybe the Europa League's a realistic trophy to go after. But then so would, like, the FA Cup and things, but I suppose you can't qualify for Champions League from those, can you? So,
do you think Manchester United are in the title race alongside you guys?
I think they've got the squad to turn it around, you know, and definitely get themselves back, and certainly got the manager. Well, I don't particularly like very much, but that's
I don't think anyone does.
But they've got the manager that's got the pedigree, knows how to win the league, knows what it takes to actually go and make a title challenge. So with the wealth of cash and players that Manchester United have got at their disposal, I think they could definitely make a shot for it. But then you look at Europa League and you'd think United would take it seriously. But then let's not forget that there's going to be some teams that drop out of the Champions League that's going to come into the Europa League, and it's not going to be as easy as, you know, what we thought it was going to be last season. Because if you look at it last season, Liverpool moving United out of the Europa League and getting to the finals themselves, it's not that cut and dry as it looks. So I think they've definitely got the manager to do it, though. If any manager could do it,
I'd just like to.
It's Mourinho.
I'll just play it calmly for now, though, because I think we could do if we carry on playing well. But if we start to build up a bit of momentum, then yeah, we could be up there. But I think we'll reassess that at
Tottenham
Christmas.
City result blew it back wide open for everyone, really, didn't it?
Tottenham were good.
Right, guys, we're going to have to let you go. But I've thoroughly enjoyed our time together. We'll get you all back on the line with in the near future. Hope you've enjoyed yourself as well, apart from the abuse that you got for looking like someone who's We will be back in a few moments' time here on FANTV. But I can tell you earlier, we did Toby's tea time teaser. Who is the only England manager to lose on his debut? It was Sir Alf Ramsey. We didn't get that on the sofa. We didn't get that on the sofa. We figured Sir Bobby. Well done to Jack on Twitter, who was correct with that guess, Sir Alf Ramsey. You win absolutely nothing. I've got nothing to give you, Jack. But you get some kudos and a thumbs up from everybody here on the sofa. Come on, Benny Stewart. Come on. Hello, mate. Good to see you again. How are you doing? All right? And you? Good to see you again. How are we? All right? How are we? All right? Let's get straight into some magic. I think we're not tricked straight away, but you've got a little. We've got a little video of yours, I believe.
Yeah, that's right.
Give it a plug. Give it a plug, mate. Give it a plug.
Do you just want to hold it by your face, mate? So basically, yeah, I've been. No, it's been serious. Been doing a documentary. Had a crew film me for about a year, and they come round to where I live, Crawley, and they watched me practice. Then I went on, they basically went on the road with me, and it's brilliant because. Hold it straight, mate. I'm doing a plug. So basically, it's just remarkable. I mean, all I've ever done is know magic really well, you know.
Yeah.
And it's good to have the experience and to even show it to a wider audience. And it's got Paul Weller in it, who's my absolute hero. And last week, I actually watched it with him in his recording studio, and it was just like the most amazing thing ever.
Amazing.
I mean, for me, I don't care what happens if. I mean, put it this way, I got a DVD out of it, haven't I? If it doesn't sell, or if it doesn't go on the TV, for me, that's a dream come true.
To sit in a recording studio, Paul Weller doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, I mean, Martin Freeman's in it as well.
Oh, really?
Vicky McClure, Johnny Owen, Rufus Brevitt, a good friend of mine, and it's, you know, Ali McKenzie, who's the director of it. It's, you know, I mean, I ain't the best person to work with. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I say, no, we're doing it this way, or, you know, so for him to work with me and to have the understanding was just amazing. And, you know, I watched it back and I was emotional at the end because, you know, it's like a big thing for me. You know, turned professional at 18, I was full-time by the age of 20, and bigger and better things, you know. I mean, even to say, Paul Weller, you know, he texted me and was like, come around and show me the documentary. I was like, it's just a wind-up. It's a dream come true. And the footage of me and him in there, it opens up with me and him in these, it was at the Hammersmith Apollo. He invited me back to do tricks to him backstage, and it was just amazing. You know, it's magical.
God, what a legend.
That's exactly what his quote is on the front. Magical. Can't really read the other one out. It's
You've been waving it around for our cameras the whole time. We're going to look at a video of that in just a sec. Also, the first results of the first poll are in, which I think we can have a look at now. Thank you to everyone who voted at FANTV UK. Which former England player made the best national manager? You have to be joking. 40% say David Beckham. I mean, we're just going to keep going back to David Beckham. He got 50 more caps than he deserved, and now people want to make him England manager as well. Poll 2 is up and running at FANTV UK. They only last for an hour, so you've got to vote within the hour, and then we'll reveal it. Poll 2, Gareth Southgate says that he wants more experience in the squad. Which player would you recall? Gareth Barry, Jermaine Defoe, Michael Carrick, or option D, do you just want no more oldies? No more oldies. Let us know, Barry, Defoe, Carrick, or no more oldies, which one you want to see in the England team. Go and vote. And let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at this. We've got a clip from your documentary. Let's have a watch.
If you can do a trick that makes them amazed, and for that short period of time, nothing else matters. Their problems at home don't matter. What they've got for dinner, their bills, problems, nothing matters. Just the moment that you shared with them, the magic.
How good does that look? How good does that look? Awesome. I was expecting some, you know, low budget, you've done it on a handheld camera. This is proper.
Oh yeah, you know, I'm not Dynamo, am I? Do you know what I mean? I went through it properly. No camera cuts, no stooges, nothing like that.
No, I love it. It looks really, really good.
It's all from the heart, and you know, nothing. I don't like thinking something, you know, writing something down, going right, I'm doing it that to a script. It's just, you know, straight off the cuff, and it's much more better like that. I mean, everything you see there is generally, or everything that you see on the actual DVD, is exactly what you would have seen there and then. And some of the reactions were amazing, and there's so many amazing people involved as well. And everyone who's just took their time, and even my mum and dad, you know, for mum to have the film crew come round, it was just amazing. And they both supported me so much, you know. I could have, you know, could be out there doing a proper job, so to speak, but they really believed that I could go to the top, and that, for me, that's, you know, that's the most support you need, isn't it? You know? It doesn't matter how many followers I've got on Twitter, how many people follow me on the internet. If your parents really believe that you can do it, then that's all you need to drive you on to the top. So that's my motivation.
It looks awesome. I'll blag a free DVD off you, I think.
Probably not in that shirt anyway.
I thought the Tom Hiddleston abuse was over, but no, we're straight back in. We're just getting started. Before we make you do some magic and we prod you to perform for us, I can tell you that Armenia, the international game there was a sending off 4 minutes in for Armenia, and Romania have scored as well, so that game could get ugly. Right, come on, the magic mod. Let's do some magic. Here we go.
Left my cards at home, didn't I?
Don't. You're producing from somewhere. Be careful checking. There's going to be a dove on him somewhere.
Let me take out. Do you mind holding them? I think it's suitable for your personality.
Oh, the Joker. I'll take that. I think that's
dress sense anyway. Could you give them a shuffle?
It's the nicest thing you've ever said to me. Do I need to hold these?
Please do, mate. That's part of the trick.
Okay.
So I gave them to you.
Okay, I'm ready.
Come on, mate. They're on a timer. Cool, he's keen, isn't he? Right, hold on to that, mate. What I'm going to do is just a quick trick to start off. Just say stop whenever you like.
Stop.
You sure?
Yeah.
Want to change your mind?
No.
Shane would have helped, but don't worry. Take that card, have a look at it. Don't let me know it's the 4 of clubs. Sign your name across it.
Can't get the pen open.
He's in your head here, Stuart. He's in your head, mate.
By the way, it was the 4 of clubs, hopefully, you know.
Yeah.
Just hold it up to the camera. Make sure everyone sees your signature. You got it? Let me take the card back. Have you recapped already? That's the joke. So there's your card. You see it? Can you lift up about half the deck for me? Put the rest on top. You've got the 2 jokers, haven't you?
I do.
May I take them back?
You may.
I put 1 joker on top of the other joker. I'll call them the broke-back jokers.
Nice.
Calm, we're keeping it PG. So the 2 jokers on top of each other. Can you hold your hand up for me? The clean one.
Yeah.
Serious. Put your other hand on top of it, like a sandwich. You got it? Don't let me get in there.
Okay.
You're going to help me out with this one, okay? Roughly, how many cards down did I place? What's your name, sorry?
Stuart.
Good memory. How many cards down did I place Stuart's card?
20.
You sure?
Yeah.
That's 20. Watch carefully, okay? But you don't know where the card is, do you? See, most people think it's in my hand. Well, it's not. The hardest thing to do is to make it travel up my sleeve, down here, boom, across there and into your hand. Now, you had 2 jokers, didn't you?
Yeah.
Would it be amazing if your card that you signed was in your hand now?
Yeah.
Don't give much away, do you? You wouldn't like to play poker with him, would you? Have a look in your hand. Oh, here we go.
Oh,
Another
no
card.
way. Oh, no way.
Is that, hold it up.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Nice one. Don't give much away, does he? He's like Fulham's manager.
He wasn't impressed. He wasn't impressed at all. No, that was awesome. That was awesome. I don't know if I want another trick now or later. What do you reckon? Now or later?
No, I'll keep it
later. Let's do later. Let's do later. Let's talk about football. Let's talk about football. Well, your magic's clearly not working on. Your magic's not working on Fulham though. What's going on? What's going on there at the minute?
Should we just skip talking about Fulham?
No, we're gonna. You said this to me before the show. You said, "Do we have to talk about Fulham?" Yes, we do.
To be fair, when I first come on here, I thought I was talking about like promotion and all that. And I'm thinking relegation battle.
Yeah.
But it's gone like that. I mean, we were doing so well up until the international break. And then all of a sudden...
Bloody international break.
Well, exactly. I mean, who watches England anyway? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Especially when FANTV's on at the same time.
Especially when I'm here, mate. Do you know what I mean? It's just gone rapidly downhill. You know, we got absolutely smashed twice in a week by Bristol. Beat us in the Cup, and then they beat us 4-0. You know, to say you got beat 4-0 against Bristol, I was sitting there thinking... This is comical. This is absolutely comical. Anyway, we had the West London derby against QPR, and I thought we've got to smash them, didn't we? We're due a good win. And
managerless QPR at the time.
Well, do you know what? He was actually there, and I know he was involved in all that. You know, the thing. Like, I mean, I wouldn't pay 50 grand to watch him speak. I wouldn't even give him 50 quid to watch him speak. So I made a point because my seat's right behind the dugouts. You know, I got the old money out. I was whipping it. I was like, "How much for a gig? Come on, son." You know. He weren't really impressed, so I should have got my cards out instead. But, so we went.
Not judging by Stuart's reaction to your trick, he wouldn't have been impressed either.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But you gonna let me carry on talking?
Yeah, go for it, mate.
We missed the penalty after 6 minutes. You know, Tom Kearney missed the penalty, and I just knew after that it ain't going to be our day. You know, when you miss a penalty at home, I thought this ain't going to be it. And then they went 1-0 up, then it was 1-1, and I thought, all right, we actually might nick this. We might nick this last minute. And then they scored in the 89th minute, you know, in front of the away crowd, and oh, that was horrible to see, horrible. And then Sean Aluko, who he tries a lot, but he's like, you know, a rabbit in the headlights. He's just running all over the gaffer. You don't know what he's doing. And he did try really hard, but he was getting so much grief off all the fans. And we had a penalty in the last kick of the game, and he just picked the ball up, he placed it down, and I thought, if you score this, you're a hero, mate. If you miss, you're going to get absolutely crucified. And he did. He missed. And I couldn't believe it because it ruined my weekend. Put it out to lose to QPR.
Imagine his weekend.
I'm not bothered about that. He's still getting about 20 odd grand.
Yeah, that's true. He's probably
like missing a penalty. Don't worry about that. Let's go buy a Rolls Royce or something. You know what I mean? It's Sean, if you're watching, mate, I do actually like you as a player, and it's nothing personal.
There we go. I've got to take a break, but there's a heartfelt apology from the mod, which is rare. I don't think you've ever apologised to me when you mean to me. Oldham have won 2-1 away at Gillingham. Rochdale have won 3-0 at home to Southend, and Scunthorpe and Northampton ended 1-1. Mansfield Town 3-1 up at home to Notts County. Accrington Stanley are 1-1 with Cheltenham Town. The mod's just checking his accumulator while I go for it.
I got $2 grand on this, mate. This could be a good weekend. I might buy you a decent shirt.
Thanks. Blackpool, Cambridge and United is 1-1. Colchester United, Newport Counties 0-0. Doncaster 3-2. You got Doncaster?
No, they let me down. 0-0.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
the
0-0
you
just said before.
Oh, Colchester Newport let you down.
Yeah, cheers.
Sorry, mod. Sorry, mate.
Let's move on.
I looks like I'm staying in this shirt for another week. Doncaster Rovers are 3-2. They won 3-2 at home to Barnet. Exeter City 0-0 with Grimsby Town. Hartlepool United 1-0 with Crawley Town. Leyton Orient lost at home to Portsmouth 1-0. Luton Town 1, Crewe Alexandra 1. Carlisle United won 3-0 away at Morecambe. Plymouth won 2-1 away at Stevenage. And Yeovil Town nicked it against Wycombe Wanderers 1-0. Meanwhile, in the qualifiers that are going on, I can tell you that England haven't scored yet. It is still 0-0 against them. Azerbaijan have just put one in there, 1-0 up against my mum's country, Norway. Sorry, mum. Romania are winning 3-0 away at Armenia after 15 minutes, and Armenia have had a man sent off as well. That could get very ugly very fast for them. And in the game that you're all dying to know, Montenegro are still 0-0 with Kazakhstan. Right, let's go on. Let's move on to Scotland, Stuart.
Sunny Scotland, yeah.
Scotland. They're in England's group, obviously, alongside Lithuania, Malta, the two Slovenias, Slovakias. I always forget which one we're playing.
Yeah.
It's quite a favourable draw, isn't it? The group. If you could qualify for a major tournament, I mean, you can't ask for too much.
Is it?
Apart from England, it's pretty straightforward, isn't it? Slovakia.
Slovakia are decent.
Yeah,
they've got Marek Hamšić and Martin Skirtle.
Yeah,
they're better than any two players we've got.
Yeah.
I mean, Lithuania should be 3 easy points tonight, but it's Scotland, so it won't be 3 easy points. It'll be 2-1 with a last-minute bounce off a defender, probably. I think we can finish second. Yeah, Slovakia are better than us. They at least got to the Euros. We didn't. I think they finished second in their Euro qualifiers ahead of Ukraine, behind Spain. But we have to at least finish second. But even second doesn't guarantee you a playoff spot. And I imagine we'll finish second and then lose in the playoffs after all finally getting our hopes up. After 20 years, we're finally going to go to a tournament. Who wants to go to Russia anyway?
Was it difficult watching the Euros and seeing the home countries, apart from England, do play so well? The ones that Scotland would normally be trying to be on a par with, Wales, Northern Ireland.
Yeah, I now have this irrational hatred for Wales. I was watching the Wales score on Thursday night they were playing.
Yeah,
I was like, every time Austria scored, I was delighted because I just that's the kind of team that we're on a par with, but we don't have Gareth Bale. And yes, it just seems really unfair that they've got that one world-class player that lifts them from being a kind of mediocre English Championship kind of club level team, which is probably what Scotland and Wales are. But yeah, then they have Gareth Bale, which kind of just about gets them over the line. Yeah, he has magic.
Not a bad player to have, is it? We've got Graham on Skype, by the way. He's going to join in this conversation, who is a Scotland fan as well. Are you there, Graham?
Afternoon, guys. How are we doing? I'm on phone tonight. Technology's not impressive tonight, I'm afraid.
Where are you?
I'm literally in work. I've just finished. So behind me's a tree, I'm afraid.
I love it. Thank you for taking the time to Skype us from.
All good.
I've
Some
never
good
been this
discussions
close
going
to
on
a
about
man's
that
face before.
world-class player discussion.
Yeah. Who is that? Do you think that's fair? Do you think Scotland and Wales just have Gareth Bale and Scotland don't have a Gareth Bale at the moment?
I think for Scotland's case, it's Ollie Burke, Lee Griffiths in a sense, but I think Ollie Burke's going to be the main talisman for the next couple of years for Scotland. He is.
Lee Griffiths couldn't score in League One, so he's not going to be a talisman for Scotland.
Hopefully he gets a run out in Europe and we'll see how good he is.
Is that kind of the problem here, that when you're going through the Scotland team, it's just a lack of quality? The fact that he's labelled Lee Griffiths and Oliver Burke, who might have a very bright future ahead of him, but the fact that those are like the two most exciting players, does that sum up where Scottish football is at the minute, that there's a lack of quality at the moment? Yeah,
that and the fact that if a Scottish player does go for a big transfer fee, then with the exception of Burke, Strachan then decides to take them out of his squad. Jordan Rhodes went for 60 million last January, then didn't get a sniff at a Scotland shirt. Ross McCormack goes for 12 million this summer. Oh no, Scotland don't need a £12 million player. Strachan is very, very loyal to his core group of players, which is why Alan Hutton still gets a game despite not playing a league game in about 3 years. I think
he won't be playing tonight, I believe.
Well, yeah, I think he's injured, isn't he? He's went home.
Yeah, calf strain.
Graham, Graham's the man. Graham knows everything. He doesn't know.
Ask him what he does. I want to know what he does.
I know everything.
Yeah, you ask him, Mod. You ask him. Graham, this is the Magic Mod. Say hello.
Hello. How are we doing?
I'm all right,
What's
mate.
the query?
Yourself? Anyway, so what do you do for a job, mate?
I do youth work as a job.
Oh, brilliant.
Children's centre. It's a children's centre with additional support needs.
That's Mod just wanted to know because he couldn't understand where you were.
He goes, you can't make a joke about that. Can you?
Yeah, it's just a
No, I can't.
He just wanted to
I'll be
know.
in the same category as Frankie Boyle or something.
Exactly.
No, well done, mate. That's a good job. Well done to you.
Cheers.
Well, Mod just turned to me and goes, I want to know what he does. Well, there you go, Mod. Now you know. Graham, would it be classic Scotland kind of in recent years in qualifiers? Would it be classic Scotland if they slipped up tonight and then go and beat England in a few months' time?
It wouldn't surprise me, to be honest, but like Scotland haven't lost to Lithuania in about 12, 13 years, I believe, and it was a Euro 2004 qualifier. But I was doing a little stat research. It's 5 wins, 1 draw. But Lithuanian football is kind of going up a little bit because a lot of the players now playing like Turkey and Germany, so they're playing for decent standard teams. It's, as a team, they're not as good compared to, say, like a Slovakia or a Cyprus, for example. They're a decent little standard.
I wasn't expecting Cyprus to admit. What is the general opinion, do you think, on Gordon Strachan at the moment amongst Scotland fans?
I get the feeling everyone's just waiting for him to trip up. I think he had us all with him, in the last campaign. We thought we were going to do it, and then kind of the last 3-4 games, we just the results fell off a cliff. We did pretty much exactly what we did in 2008 and threw it away against Georgia. And now it kind of feels like everyone's just. I think he's not got any lives left with this campaign. If we drop points today, then people will call for his head. He could get away with dropping points against Slovakia or England, but we can't drop points at home to Lithuania because the group is going to be tight. Because Slovenia, not a huge household name, but they're better than a lot of kind of pundits give them credit for. They'll give us a good game. They'll probably take points off us over there. So you've got to win all of our home games except England.
Yeah, they're tough in midfield to break down. For what I've seen, Slovenia, Slovakia, if we can take, say, 4 points from both, home and away, would be in a good shout.
Yeah, finish second.
Coming down to England, and it's like games against Lithuania. You have to beat these kind of teams. If you don't, then you don't deserve to qualify.
Do you think, as it goes, obviously you're always going to get, because of the way the seeding works, you're always going to get one good team in your group, if we can call England a good team, but you know what I mean, a big team. Was almost England the best one you could get? Because if you get a Spain or an Italy, you won't have that same passion, but England, Scotland will be so up for that game. Is it almost the ideal big country to get, if that makes sense?
I think it's good because I think Scotland fans care about it more than England fans. I don't think. I'd be surprised if Wembley's even sold out for it in November. But I guess it's almost worse because there's pressure on the players then when we play England, because you kind of have to beat England. Whereas when we beat France, I was going to say a few years ago, 8 years ago now.
Great night.
It was. 2 great nights, but they were, there was no pressure because, like, if France beat us, then France beat us. Like that's fine. They're expected to beat us. England should also beat us, but it matters more to Scotland fans if they get beat. So it's actually probably the worst you could have rather than the best.
Oh, really? You reckon? Graham, mate, we're going to let you go. You can go off for a walk wherever the hell you are. What do you think the score's going to be tonight, though? Scotland going to win?
I think Scotland will win, and they'll win 2-0. I'm going to say Burke. And I'm going to say Griffiths won't start, so I'm going to say Chris Martin will be the same.
Chris Martin. The magic mod.
Have you seen him at Fulham this season, mate?
That's an unfortunate freeze.
That's what he
Back in the room. Right?
I think we've lost Graham, and we've left him on a very unflattering final slide there. Sorry, Graham, but thank you for Skyping us. Remember, if you want to Skype us, you can on the FANTV channel. Let's talk about that man, Chris Martin. Not scored in the league yet for Fulham. He's obviously there to replace the goals of McCormack and Dembele. He's not really done it so far, has he?
No, I feel like bringing my boots myself, mate. I mean, serious, as I was just saying, last week against QPR, it was easier to score than miss. Sorry. And how he missed, like, no keeper there, I still can't believe it. If that went in, that could have changed the whole game. He's had we give him so many chances. And don't get me wrong, striker, you build confidence on goals, didn't you? I mean, I play in that role myself. That's a little plug as well. But, your confidence is low if you don't score. As soon as he gets one goal, that's it. Hopefully he'll hit the ground running again and start doing well. But he when he was at Derby, he did really well, and I was surprised that he let him go, like you said.
I mean, he's been scoring goals for fun in the league. You know?
Yeah, it was a surprise for me. So Maccaris, Rangers fan first, but the kind of English team down here that I've gone to see more than anyone else is probably Derby. And every time I've seen him in the last few years, he's either scored, he's had a great game, he's scoring kind of 15, 20 goals a season. He's never really done it in a Scotland shirt. Like, he did score, I think, 2 against Malta last month, but yeah, it was Malta. I think we got a freebie. He got a bit of a freebie where he was filled and would have missed a sitter otherwise. It's a massive surprise. But yeah, I mean, it must just come down to confidence, is it? Because as you say, if the team's creating the chances for him and he's just not sticking them away, then yeah. Well, I mean, don't know. Maybe he doesn't really like it, or just hasn't settled down in London yet. I think it's tough to kind of move to a new city as well.
Different atmosphere, you know.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, because I mean, like you say, I thought Derby, especially towards the end there, I thought he was a quality player for them. You know, scoring 1 and 2 for a few seasons up there.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's going to score some goals for you soon, Magic Mod. Don't worry.
He looks like he's on trial for someone. Do you know what I mean? He looks like a new kid who's just thought, yeah, I'll turn up for a game.
Who else have you got though if you don't play him?
It's Matt Smith, Cauley Woodrow. I rate Smith and I rate Woodrow. I think Woodrow's an amazing player. And, but we keep giving Martin a chance, and, it's not working at the moment. So, bomb him out, give Woodrow another chance. And, he's fiery, I like him a lot. See what happens.
Hopefully he scores some goals. I want to go back to Scotland quickly. I think you've been tweeting this morning. Was this drunk tweeting? Was it angry drunk tweeting? Here we go. Off to FANTV to preview the Scotland game. Strachan doesn't care what fans think. Good for him. He won't like what I've got to say.
Well, did you see his press conference? Was it yesterday or the day before?
No.
So one of the journalists said, crowdsourced a couple of questions for him, because I think the journalist had done a kind of big in-depth one-to-one with him the day before, asked all these questions. I said, I've got a couple of questions from Scotland fans, and Strachan's like, well, I'm not answering them.
Oh, really?
And then moved straight on to the next journal. Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's classic Strachan. Like, he is like that.
He's quite an abrasive character.
He hates the media unless he's getting paid to be a pundit. And so maybe it was just him having a bit of fun. But as a Scotland fan looking at it, it's like, well, actually, you're kind of, you're there to represent us. So if someone's got a couple of questions, it's not gonna ruin your day to answer them. So,
do you believe that Gordon Strachan is the man that's going to get Scotland to the World Cup? No. I don't think he's not enough of a pragmatist. He kind of talks about having this great group of players. And he says, I'm trying not to select any players that aren't playing. But Grant Hanley will start tonight. I think he's played twice for Newcastle. He picks Akechi Anya every single squad, despite the fact that, again, Akechi Anya has hardly kicked a ball in 2 years in club football. Yeah, it's just some of he keeps bringing the same players into his squad. McGinn from Hibs. How can someone from the Scottish Championship be getting into the Scotland squad when Craig Bryson's not been played as much this year? He's not getting in the squad. You've got Halliday and Holt, who are kind of really good partnership in central midfield for Rangers in the Scottish Premiership. He likes to have this same squad, doesn't want to change it. It's where I think Michael O'Neill at Northern Ireland did a lot better in the last qualifying campaign, because they changed the way they played through the campaign to try and start to get a couple of results when they needed to, whereas Strachan just wanted his team to play the same way, and then by the second half of the campaign, the other managers, the other teams had worked out how Scotland were going to set up. They countered it. We didn't get the results, and we didn't get an invite to the party. So I think that's what will let him down again. He won't change, and he won't try anything new or anything different. Yeah, fair enough. And Michael O'Neill as well. What a job at Northern Ireland. I mean, that's what you need. Someone to come in at Scotland and wave a magic wand like him and Chris Coleman have done, really. Who's there? We've got an England fan, I think, who was watching the game for us. Hello. Dan, are you there? Hi, Dan. How you doing, mate? Good to see you. Oh, he's done a Graham. Oh.
I'm doing well, actually, just watching the England game. As you could probably guess, we are dominating possession at the moment. We didn't score against the run of play, I'm happy to tell you.
Talk us through the goal. Daniel Sturridge got it, didn't he?
Yeah, it was Daniel Sturridge. It was a nice little cross there from Jordan Henderson. He's got it, I'd probably say about 10 yards just outside of the box. He's put it in. Easy little header for Daniel Sturridge. Goalkeeper's not really made much of an effort to get to it. And pretty simple goal for England. They've been quite direct. There was a few times I've been watching this and seen a few sort of Hollywood balls that England have tried to make, and you've just kind of hoped that they'd be a little bit more, simple with what they're trying to do. Obviously, Wayne Rooney, one of the key men to have been trying that out, as well as Dele Alli. But now it does look like England are going to dominate and probably win this 5 or 6-0.
What's the atmosphere there like? Because I think England fans are really waiting for the team to make up for them to what happened at the Euros. There was a bit of a sour atmosphere at Wembley ever since, really. What's the atmosphere like today?
Well, I can tell you that at Wembley they did try to amp their effort up a little bit because they debuted a dab cam. I'm not sure whether that was a wise decision of them or not, but it does look as though, you know, they filled it out very well, you know, and I think that's the best thing. As far as I know, that it was a sellout or very, very close to a sellout. So it's good to see that England are, of course, getting the fans back. We've got a good young team out there. Dele Alli starting again. We've got the dynamic players out there. Daniel Sturridge as well. They're going to excite the crowd today. So, yeah, I expect the crowd to cheer up a little bit more later on.
Also, has Ryan Bertrand gone off? There was talk of Bertrand being injured in the game. Is that correct?
Yeah, he's joined the injury list, unfortunately. It just keeps on happening, doesn't it? I know somebody tweeted on earlier that they wanted Wayne Rooney to join that list, but he's still there. Yeah, Danny Rose has had to come on for Ryan Bertrand. Still a decent option for him. You have to say that England don't seem to be hurt by the injuries at the moment. We do actually have quite a good depth of talent, as much as people will kind of disagree with me there. Every single player who's come in, you've just kind of looked at him, you've seen him in the team, and you'd think, yeah, fair enough, they work.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, fullback, for some reason, I don't know why, at fullback at the minute, we're spoilt for choice. I mean, Nathaniel Clyne in any other era would be all over that England team sheet, wouldn't he? Dan, mate, thank you for Skyping us. We'll probably keep cutting back to you as the goals hopefully fly in.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see 6 or 7 of them.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Enjoy the game. Thank you.
Cheers.
Interesting there, he's saying about how England have got quite a good strength in depth now. Is that fair that they do, but everyone's kind of just on that same 7 out of 10 level? Is that the problem?
Not really, mate. It's about England. I don't really. Yeah, but we're waiting for that spark, though, aren't we? I mean, like we said, everyone, and I think one of the lads touched on it earlier. The media absolutely destroy England, didn't they? You know, before a ball's even kicked, they're like, you know, marking them like they're going to know what they're talking about and this. But I just wish the whole media would shut up and let them actually play the game. You know, they're already trying to pick out stuff about Southgate already. He was a Crawley boy, by the way. You know, and I just think the media, forget all that. Let the boys go out there and prove what they can do, because no doubt about it, they can do it for their club, or they wouldn't be getting picked for the country. So that's my view. But I've never really had the same passion for England as I had for my club team, and I think that's a lot of people are the same like that as well. You know, I'm more excited about watching Fulham in a friendly than I would be watching England in a quarter-final or something, if that makes... I know it sounds stupid, but I just don't get the same passion or the same buzz.
I have to admit, I've always been the same. I've always, you know, I'm a Liverpool fan, and England I watch because it's the only football that's on when England are playing. Exactly. And I can't stand the international break, you know. I mean, it's probably come at a good time for Fulham at the moment, but I just want to get back down there and start, you know, watching the league games again. And do you think that's, you know, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Is it the fact that the England team haven't excited us in so many years? I mean, we've talked about the Euro 96 team on this episode. That was a brilliant team and played a great brand of football as well. Is it that we just struggle to get behind this current crop of players?
I think complacency is not the right word, but you're saying, you know, you can't get excited about England in a quarter-final. That's because pretty much every major tournament you make the quarter-finals. Yeah, didn't in the Euros, but you're only kind of one game away. And yeah, it's then when you take that step to the semi-finals, like in '96, like in 1990, that kind of the country then starts to get excited. Whereas that's only happened twice in 50 years.
What about north of the border? Do you think in Scotland there's a similar thing where people are more interested in how their club are getting on, or because, you know, Scottish football's not as exciting as the English Premier League, let's be fair, does the national team carry a bit more weight, do you think, for some people?
I think for fans outside the Old Firm, it definitely does, because it's kind of best quality football they get to see, because they can cheer on some Rangers players. So yeah, I think Rangers and Celtic fans would probably kind of be in a similar, you know, and I'm the same. I'd always rather watch a Rangers game than any Scotland game. Like your Aberdeen, your Inverness kind of fans. I think you see that with England as well. Whenever you watch England in a major tournament and you look at the kind of flags, it's all kind of like, you know, Luton Town and Blackpool and kind of all these kind of lower league sort of teams that, you know, it's the fans getting excited to be able to kind of back these players as their own. I think it's the same in Scotland as well.
Yeah, no, that's very fair. Let's talk about your boys, Rangers.
Yeah.
While we've got you here, there's only one man really that I'm going to ask you about. You know who it is, Joey Barton. What's going on with Joey Barton? Every time Joey Barton seems to just be getting his career slightly on track, here it goes. Very quickly it can go downhill for him, can't he?
Yeah. So, he's due back in training on Monday. So. And he's not done anything during his 3-week suspension.
Apart from probably the 420 at Plumpton, that's probably the only thing he's been doing in his time off.
Yeah, at least he was betting against Celtic, so no Rangers fan's going to hold that against him. whereas the last time Ian Black did it, he bet against Rangers. That wasn't so good. Yeah,
Bet he won his money though.
I think I want Joey Barton back playing like he was last season in a Rangers shirt. Got another Celtic game coming up in 2 weeks' time. So if he can
in the Scottish League Cup,
semi. If he can be in top form for that, then great. Although you'll struggle to get into the midfield because it's since he's dropped, we've got Halliday and Holt back, who were kind of key pairing last year in midfield. Holt was injured at the start of the year, and kind of our midfield started to look kind of young and dynamic again. But he paid for himself to go over to Qatar to do some kind of fitness training for the past week or so. Might have been a good idea to do that before he turned up at the start of the season, rather than going on TalkSport to preview the Euros. But hopefully he comes back. Hopefully he plays well. I think he needs to go to the manager, give the manager the respect he deserves. I think that's where it went wrong.
It's a strange one, isn't it? That he's kind of one of those players who, he's an idiot, but when he plays for you, he's your idiot. Do you know what I mean? He's the sort of guy that you do kind of want in your corner in a weird...
He's not the worst one we've had in recent years. We had El Hadj Diouf playing for us, who's not a great human being.
That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said about El Hadj Diouf.
and yet at the time you were like, well, he's ours now, and at least he doesn't like Scott Brown. So, but Joey's at least not as bad as that. I think it was Danny Murphy, who's obviously shared a dressing room with him, like I heard, like nailing it right, is that after a game, Joey Barton will be going around the dressing room and trying to get everyone to play at this higher level that he thinks everyone should be playing at. But it's in Joey's mind, he plays at a higher level than he does. He thinks he thinks he's better than he is, and you can see that his career is he's had a very good career, but he's not had any kind of he's not been outstanding. And that must grate a bit, and that's what caused, by all accounts, the problems with Andy Halliday that led to the suspension. And so he was, just slagging off the team from last year and saying that we didn't play anyone, whereas we did beat Celtic last year, and this was the altercation was just after they beat us 5-1 a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
He obviously thinks that the team should be playing better, and the team should be playing better because we've dropped too many points already this year.
You're fifth at the minute. A quick one, by the way, as well, that England have gone 2-0 up. Dele Alli has scored for England. Good to see Dele Alli scoring some goals. You are fifth at the minute in the SPL. Do you think there was an element of, with Rangers, that it was kind of in the Rangers fans' heads that getting back into the SPL was going to be the hard part, and once you got back up, it was going to go straight back to how it was, the good old days, 2-horse race in the SPL. Do you think there was a bit of expectation of that?
I still think, well, now that we've played kind of 2/3 of the teams, I still think we'll finish second by a mile.
Oh, really?
We've played Aberdeen, albeit they beat us. But we played them off the pitch, and they are apparently the second best team in Scotland for the last 3 or 4 years. They play like Neanderthal football. They were they were terrible to watch. They hardly got a kick of the ball in the first half.
But they won.
And that's been our problem, is we've played well and not won. I think the other problem we've got is there's not many Rangers men in that dressing room that have got that mentality of having to win every week, or it doesn't really matter if we draw this game because we're playing well enough, we're just unlucky. That's not a Rangers mentality, and you can't get away with that as a Rangers player. Whereas a lot of them have come from clubs like Wigan, a lot of them come from Watford, kind of mid-table clubs, throughout the English Championship and English League One, where you can get away with a bad result, as long as you don't play terribly and as long as you run about and try really hard, your fans aren't going to get on your back. And I think getting that Rangers mentality into them is going to be the difficult
thing. That's the thing, you forget how it's a huge, huge institution that they're going to, and they probably haven't been under that spotlight at all. Magic Mod, Fulham kind of in the same boat there, where you were so synonymous with the Premier League for a few years. You were quite comfortable there for a while.
Took it for
a
granted.
Europa League final as well. Did you kind of think when you went down you were going to come straight back up? Did you think that I always felt like Fulham were a Premier League club that were there to stay, really?
Well, going back to that, like I said before, I think we took the Premier League for granted. We were always thought, we'll be all right, we won't go down. But it seemed like the last couple of seasons before we did go down, we were just fighting relegation all the time, and it got to the point where I thought, we've got to start making changes. And a lot of what has gone on off the pitch hasn't helped what's gone on it, if that makes sense. The players' heads are all over the place, and the way we went down, like I said before, was unacceptable for the players we had. And did I think we'd go up straight away? No, in honest truth, I thought it'd be this season. I always said the third season, and we started brilliant, but it's all gone to really, hasn't it? You know what I mean? I can't see if we can do it this season. It's going to probably be next season or season after, but you know, I'm still going to support, and I'm still going to have the same buzz if we play Burton Albion. Then when we play Chelsea, you know, just watching my club play is good enough for me. And it don't matter about the result. You know, you don't support them just because they win, do you?
Yeah. Nice,
otherwise, I'd be supporting a proper club.
Yeah, otherwise you wouldn't be supporting Fulham still. Yeah, exactly. We are going to take another quick break, but I can reveal we do have a winner from Toby's Tea Time Teaser. I think they've tweeted in the answer as well. There you go. Since the days of Gary Lineker to score 2 international hat-tricks. Well, obviously Germany's won in the 5-1. I can't remember. Does anyone know who the second hat-trick is? Might no one? No one. Okay. Colombia. Shout of Colombia from the back. Raj reckons Colombia. I reckon. I'll go. I'm not going to argue with you. I don't have a clue. Right, Colombia. Right. Colombia it is. Right. We will be back in a few moments' time. And the Magic Mod as well has been doing some moonlighting apparently. I don't know what this. Let's see. We go. We've got a picture. There we go.
Do you know what? I get that.
And there you are again, playing for England. Well done. How proud were you when you first pulled on that England shirt? Is that the proudest moment of your career so far?
Do you know what? Going back to that, it's either that or Miles Kane. Get a picture of Miles Kane up as well. And it's either Leighton Baines, like, go out and they're like, Leighton, you're all right. Like, yeah, we're all right. I get it all the time. At the cottage, they destroy me about it. But yeah, I can see what you mean with the Barnet and that.
It is quite Leighton Baines.
It was a proud moment.
Do you read a lot of Enemy? I bet you read Enemy.
Yeah, it's all right. You know, I like all that.
It's all right.
I love all that sort of stuff, like the indie music and all that. It's brilliant.
Yeah. Fair enough. Right, we're going to go to a quick break. Sorry to abuse you there, but we've had Simone Zaza and Leighton Baines on the sofa already. It's been a hell of a show here on FANTV. It's been a highlight, and it's only going to get better. Stay with us. England are winning 2-0. We'll be right across that game. Don't go anywhere. Hello, mate.
All right, how's it going, lads?
Yeah, still good. Pretty much exactly the same as we were 10 minutes ago when we last spoke to you. I'm not going to lie.
Same pretty much.
But the England game's going a bit better. They've got a second goal. Dele Alli, talk us through what happened there.
Yeah, Dele Alli obviously has gone and got another goal there for England. A little bit of a goal-mouth scramble once again, but he's managed to stick it in the back of the net. I mean, for me as well, England should be far more dominant. They should be up by at least 3 or 4. They've missed some silly opportunities for most of this half. I'm hoping in the second half that we actually go on to score about 4 or 5. It's been a shame, really, because I do think that we should be thrashing Malta at this point. On average, Scotland are doing better, aren't they? They scored 5 against them.
We were 1-1 at half-time, so you're ahead.
Oh, there you go. There's hope for us yet, Dan. There's hope for us yet. God, that must have been a bleak moment. 1-1 at half-time with Malta. Talk us about Wayne Rooney playing in the middle of the park. How's he getting on?
Yeah, well, Wayne Rooney, obviously, when Sam Allardyce took charge, got played as a number 10 behind the striker, dropped back into midfield. Gareth Southgate has played Wayne Rooney in that deep line playmaker role today. Gladly, I can tell you that he hasn't dropped back to sweeper just yet, so he is playing his role quite well. As I say, spraying balls about. There's been a few times where I've just kind of hoped he'd be a little bit more, I'd hope that he played a little bit more safer with his chances, but I suppose it's okay with him being creative over there. But as I say, he's misplaced those passes much like he has done for Man United a lot this season. You can tell there's some confidence missing with him, but all in all, he's been okay.
That's Wayne Rooney's misplaced passes has been synonymous with him the last few years, isn't it? He can't.
Well, he loves that kind of like 30-yard Hollywood crossfield ball over the fullback's head.
Yeah, straight into Rose head. Yeah. Cheers, Dan. Thank you. We'll keep Skyping you in the second half as well, but cheers for watching it for us.
Sorry, what was that?
We'll Skype. Yeah, basically, goodbye. We'll Skype you later. Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
At least he ended on a slightly nicer face than Graham did when he froze.
You might want to get your England correspondent not wear an Italy t-shirt.
Yeah, that's a very good point. That's a very good point. Good point, well, Matt. Dan, if you're watching, go and put an England shirt on. Mod's got one. Magic Mod, can we see some more magic, please? Just poke him and he performs magic. Do magic. Magic.
Why not?
Here we go.
Give them a quick shuffle, please, if that's... in fact, no, you did it last time. Would you mind?
I can't shuffle, though. You've left one on the table as well.
No, it's the one he signed.
Oh, it's the one he signed?
There you go. Pull it on your fridge, mate.
That's worth a fair bit. I can't shuffle. I do like the old person shuffling where nothing actually gets shuffled and it's pretty much exactly as you gave it to me.
That's what I was doing. I thought he was going to catch me for it.
Right.
I got away with it.
Oh,
You just need to not draw attention to it.
But like I've just done.
Yeah.
Cheers. Thank
Yeah,
you.
now put them in the same order as they were when I gave you the deck.
Yeah, no worries.
Yep.
There you go, mate.
Oh, well done, mate. Yeah. Is here a week?
Only actually Wednesdays and
Can I do
Fridays.
this one to you, if that's all right? Just say stop ananywhere.
Stop.
No. Yeah, and last time you said stop anywhere, and you thought it was funny, but it weren't really, was it?
Well, I've learned from my mistakes.
Do you mind just signing your name across there?
This is going to be worth a fortune, mate.
Just put to eBay user or something like that.
Yeah, do it.
Probably cost me more in postage and packaging, really, wouldn't it? Top card. May you lift up half the deck for me, please?
Yeah.
Just say stop.
Stop.
Want to change your mind?
No.
Can you push that in all the way? Could do a joke there.
I feel like you could have done that bit.
Hold that. Don't drop them. Ready? Now, give that a shuffle as well as you like. Okay. Bearing in mind your card was in there, roughly how many cards down do you reckon it was?
15.
Okay. I'm trying to keep track of it.
Yeah. You got it, yeah?
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Watch carefully. You've heard a sleight of hand, yeah?
I have. Oh God, what's he up to? He's putting them in his mouth. Stuart, he's putting cards in his mouth.
Well,
No, that's not. No, it's genuinely not. It's genuinely not. Oh no, he's rinsed me. Damn it, yeah, that's my card.
Ashford, you warmed us up earlier thinking you weren't that good, and then that one was.
Boom, like that.
Do you know what? I genuinely thought he'd messed up there, and I thought, oh, this is tragic. We just plugged his DVD. No one's going to buy it now.
Yeah, well, it's probably available at every service station and good car boots around, so
We should put your DVD and my signed card on eBay and see which one sells for more, frankly, mate. No, apparently not. Apparently not.
You're putting my DVD and your signed card in the same. I thought I was doing well. You know what I mean?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. What is it? Is that out now then, the DVD?
No, well, like I was just saying to my friend here. Oh, sorry. All right, to this geezer here. I'm doing the documentary premiere on the 22nd of this month up in Ireland. The director's from Ireland, and that's why I thought it'd be brilliant to go down there and do a night of it. And we're going to get as many people. I'm hearing there's only about a few tickets left, which is amazing because I've never been there before in my life. And to have a buzz around me in that part of the world is amazing. And I'm also going to do a big premiere in London as well. If you're not busy, you can come down and iron me suit or something before I go on. And no, I'm really looking forward to it because the best thing about it is who knows what doors these can open. Anything's possible. So I'm looking forward to whatever the future holds.
Well, we want 10 tickets and a media pass for everyone at FANTV. Is that right?
Could you iron your shirt yourself before you come?
I'll tell you what, this one is a bit ropey, isn't it?
But no,
this was straight off the bedroom floor this morning.
I'll make sure I get a load of tickets and bring them down. Bring yourself and do a competition or whatever. But it's going to be a big moment for me, and I can't wait.
No, it's awesome. It's awesome stuff, and I can't believe you got to hang out with Paul Weller. Also, in the break, you were telling me and Stuart that you went for a weekend away with Paul Weller and Ronnie Wood.
Yeah, it was well, he was there, and it was surreal. It's even talking about it, it's what dreams are made up of. I went with my girlfriend, and it was like.
I bet you were in her good books as well. I bet there's a few brownie points with the missus if you introduced her to Paul Weller for a weekend.
It's a funny story, really, if that's all right. I'll quickly tell you. I'll keep it short and sweet. But she got the email saying, "Oh, Paul Weller's heard about Magic Mod Ben. Is it all right if he comes around and shows his, the family some of his magic?" And she was like calling me. I was out having a few drinks, and she was like, "Ben." And I was like, "Yeah, just text me. No, listen." Paul Weller is yeah, all right. And no, it was him. And she passed him my number. We kept in contact, and I went round, and it was he's one of the loveliest blokes. Like we said earlier, they say don't meet your heroes, but everything he's done, the support. He was happy to be in the documentary, happy to put a quote. He's happy, even to watch it with me, and it's a dream come true to meet him, and it's brilliant that I know him on a friend level, and it. Like I said, dream come true. He certainly didn't disappoint me when I met him.
I just can't believe that you just have Paul Weller's number on your phone. Does it get so much cooler than anyone that I've got?
Even to say that, but I don't really brag about stuff like that because I think there's a lot of people who do, and that's all they got, isn't it? For me, the magic is the main thing. It doesn't matter who watches it. It's a highlight. You know, end of the day, they're normal people who have been very gifted or very lucky to be where they are. And you know, I grew up listening to the Jam, and for me, they're the best band, and then Oasis. And like I said, I'm still. When we watched the trailer earlier, is that Paul Weller? And I'm thinking, wow.
Yeah.
And even like I said, to watch the documentary with him the other week with a curry was unbelievable.
that's such a good anecdote, isn't it? That's just a story topper at any dinner party you ever go to. You've just got that in the back. Where did Ronnie Wood get involved?
We were all there, and he did like a thing in the evening, and I saw him there. I had my girlfriend with me, and this woman come over with this champagne glasses, and I thought, yeah, go on, why not? I thought,
Forgotten your roots, didn't you?
I took the whole lot and gave her back the dish, you know. And I thought, that's Ronnie Wood. And Sean's like, don't. That's Ronnie Wood. So I went to go up and, you know, I looked unbelievable. I had my two-tone suit on, I had my glasses on. I thought I'd go up and have a little chat. They gave us these stupid glasses. They were like fish bowls. So I went to go up and speak to him. I slipped, and the champagne went all down this shirt. All down this, I had a blue shirt on that, I don't know where it was from, and it was so embarrassing. So I went, be back with you in a minute, all right? Walked off, and he looked, and he was before I knew it, Sean and Ronnie were speaking, and I was like, oh yeah, I bet they were.
Very brave man, leaving your missus alone with Ronnie.
Sorry about that, but no, I know it sounds stupid. You have to be there to see it, but I thought I was quite cool. Yeah, I go up to speak to a mate doing, do you want to see a card trick, mate? And boom, slipped, and it just went down. I was like, wait there, I'll be back in a minute.
Serves you right for hanging out with Ronnie.
He was sitting opposite me when we had like this food in the evening. Went round there, and he was lovely, and he wanted to see a card trick, and it was brilliant, mate. It was
what a legend! What a legend!
Ah, phenomenal.
We're going to take a quick break. We're going to let you guys go, but thank you so much for coming in to see us. Cool, prediction on the Scotland score later?
3-1.
3-1 against Lithuania, and prediction on actually where are Rangers going to finish? You reckon second, actually, don't you?
Yeah.
Fulham, how are they going to do this year? Where are they going to finish?
They pulled a finger out, mate. You know, it'd be nice to see us top half, but 6th, 7th, I'm going to say now. You know, we have to be a massive U-turn, but who knows, eh?
Yeah, hopefully. Guys, always good to see you. Thank you for coming back from the lime green sofas. We're going to take a quick break. It is still 2-0 in the England game, but we'll keep you across the goals as they go in there. Okay. Right now, let's get the boys on. Adam, Thomas, and Connor are the Whiteley fans. Come on, here we go. Good to see you, mate. How you doing? All right. Nice to meet you, mate. How you doing? All right. Nice to meet you. So let me get this straight, because they were explaining to me before it started, and I was a bit confused about this, and there's some different shirts going on here. So you're a Crystal Palace fan, you're a Manchester United fan, you're just a Whiteley fan?
Bit of Oxford family reasons.
Bit of Oxford family reasons as well, Oxford United. But you guys go with him to Whiteleaf games quite...
watch a bit of non-league football.
You go quite a bit as well. How did Whiteleaf come about?
At the time, I started going down there managed by an ex-Oxford legend, Stuart Massey.
Okay.
My dad actually supports Man United, but I loved live football. No popcorn, so Zaza would be happy. Zaza would be happy with that. Just great bunch of people. Got into going. Bit of a weird one because I was 11, but never stopped. Good experience. Yeah.
So I have to admit, I'd put my hands up and confess that I've been to 1 or 2 non-league games, but since being involved in FANTV, we do a lot of non-league stuff. And it's awesome. I completely get it. Like I saw Paul Scholes recently saying that he prefers non-league to the Premier League now, and he prefers like watching Salford do what they do and stuff. Is that why? So then you wrote these 2 guys into coming along, and you got the bug as well? Was that how it worked?
Yeah, I feel like you just get to watch real football, and you get the real atmosphere, don't you? Yeah. Whereas at the place like Emirates, where they're charging £50 a ticket, you sort of lose that sort of ethos of what football's all about.
Yeah, it's what football used to be, you know. Like what you see in Soccer City is what you get. Like cheap, everything's cheap, tickets are cheap.
Beer's cheap.
Have a good laugh.
That was the best beer. £1.75 I paid for a beer at a non-league game. It was unbelievable.
Can't have been in London then.
It was. We've never been right on the outskirts, but yeah, I think they had the deal. Your first beer is £1.75 and then it becomes £2.50. It's pretty good. Did you feel like, because obviously you're a Palace and a Manchester United fan, did you feel priced out of Premier League football?
Well, definitely as a Man United fan, yeah. Well, I used to go for a fair amount when my dad paid for me, but then when I got to uni, like, I wouldn't afford it anyway as a student, you know. And yeah, it's just priced out, go watch cheap football, priced out of everything, like everything's expensive, it's just a day out, even like, you know, the train over and everything. But the food and price out of the tickets, and yeah, like, I just couldn't afford to go, so it's less of a laugh as well, everything's sort of contrived these days, and like, just everything about it, just, I agree with Paul.
That's the one thing as well that, you know, I struggle to get my head round, but do the results mean as much? Because, I mean, you were laughing, so they played today. Whiteleaf played today in the FA Trophy and lost 3-1 to Cheshunt. I think you had a man sent off early doors.
2 minutes, man sent off.
2 minutes and a man sent off. But when I was asking you this before we just came on air now, you were laughing about it. Does it hurt as much?
It's an interesting one. I think you definitely do care as much as fans of league clubs do, but there has to be a certain level of gallows humour. Because, you know, this season in particular has not been a good... I would say, you know, get the manager out, but he's out already. If Tarrant out is successful, actually, that's another job opportunity.
If Tarrant out, I will happily be White Leaf manager.
You can apply for the league manager.
In some way, you care more because it's like your family, though, isn't it? Like.
Yeah, like when we got relegated, it really hurt.
Really?
Because it's like, you know the players, you know the chairman, and it was really like...
really?
But yeah, I mean, sometimes when you're sort of losing 4-0 away at Folkestone with 5 other people, you think, I need a girlfriend or something like that.
you and Zaza from earlier.
Me and Zaza on Tinder.
He's still here. He's just walking around the office on Bumble, hoping he bumped into somebody. Bless him.
But yeah, you do care. Yeah. I think this season, out of the FA Cup, out of the trophy, not going to win the league.
Yeah.
I'm lucky I live in Sheffield, I don't have to watch it every week. So.
Yeah, I guess that's it. You've got to be able to laugh at yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
And so how often do you go? Do you go pretty much every week?
I used to go every week, but then I moved up to university in 6, so I get back when I can.
Still,
I watch Oxford United.
We've been like FC United as well.
Yeah.
Oh, you've been to CFC United as well, have you? Yeah. How was that?
Well, to be fair, like if you look, it's not really like the most non-league games. Like it's a bit contrived, I thought. Like FC, because they're all like so into the idea of being away from Man United and stuff, and they all like. It's nearly as bad as modern football. Like they have like songs that need to sing at certain times and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
And like, but it's still like, because we went to Boston away. Like it's still like you still get the vibe of non-league football, like, and you can still see their motive, you know, behind like the disaffected with Man United and the money behind it.
Yeah, what is the general non-league consensus on FC United of Manchester, also Salford, who we've mentioned already, that you know they're kind of motoring through the leagues a bit. They've got a lot of backing and stuff.
I'm not a fan.
I'm not a fan either myself.
Not a fan of Salford.
Salford, you know, represent non-league clubs, which happens a lot in non-league, of getting money behind them and buying leagues. And is it doing it the proper way? If you're trying to make a point about football and how football should be, they're just doing the exact same as the Premier League. Money talks. Money talks in non-league like money talks in the Premier League at the end of the day. And they're owned by a billionaire and 4 or 5 ex-multi-millionaire footballers.
Yeah.
So I don't think they can claim to be the voice of non-league or the voice of any particular group.
Yeah,
it's just personal.
I mean, I asked the question because that's exactly the answer I was expecting to.
I think most non-league fans would say that, but I can't speak for everyone.
Yeah, I think that is the general consensus. How many people did you get at a game, a Whiteleaf game, a home game?
At one point, it got to about 60 odd when we got relegated, but we're back up to 200 now. So.
Oh, really? I thought you were meant to say like that was peak. Like, oh yeah, we got up to about 60 odd when we were about to go down. All right, got to drop down.
No, we're one of the few sets of fans that sing in that league. We've got Beethoven. We cover the ranges of songs.
You got a Beethoven song.
Beethoven, Vivaldi, Joy Division. Mod would have loved it.
Mod would have loved the Joy Division rendition.
Yeah,
You've got to give us a song here. What are the songs here?
Oh, don't embarrass me.
No, I'm sorry.
There's Come On You Leap to Beethoven's Fifth.
Come On You Leap to Beethoven's Fifth.
You can imagine.
That is my favourite football song I've ever heard of ever.
We've got Leaf Will Tear You Apart, Joy Division.
Leaf Will Tear You Apart to Joy Division. God, these
you
are
got Leaf Forever as well.
Yeah, I want to leave forever.
I want to leave forever. Right, that's now I know the rest of the show in the back of my head. I'm just going to be writing Whiteleaf songs. That's all. That's all I want to do.
It's a great hobby, yeah. Chant inventor.
Yeah, exactly. Why not? Crystal Palace. Do you go to see them at all?
Yeah, I've had a season ticket for the past 4 years until I went to university. I think it's quite a contrast to Man United because Championship football was quite expensive. Like, you could afford it.
Yeah.
And obviously away days, it's always a good crack with the HF and stuff. They really get into it. But now in the Premier League, you do start to notice the prices. Like we don't really do Arsenal away or Chelsea's away, do we?
We stick
to sort of Leicester.
It in the Championship.
Yeah, I feel like you lose the atmosphere a lot in the Premier League, unless your fans want to have that atmosphere.
It's interesting. A lot of people have sat on the sofa there and said that they missed the Championship. They said as much as you have to be in the Premiership and you want to be in the Premiership, the actual going to matches and that they do miss the Championship.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a bit of a parallel that Crystal Palace, we've had a lot of fans on the sofa over the last month or two, and You laugh at yourselves a lot as well. Crystal Palace fans seem very tongue-in-cheek negative about the club.
All Palace fans are eternal pessimists. You're never hopeful of what's going to come next. Even the FA Cup final went 1-0 up. Wasn't expecting to
Lasted
win.
about a minute, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It says it all really. So
got that in quickly, didn't it?
Yeah, I know. Don't really like talking about it, but yeah.
I mean, we are going to have to talk about that exact game at some point because we've got a Manchester United. But we might as well do it now that we've touched on it. We'll get it out of the way early. We'll pull the band-aid off quickly. Did you two watch it together?
I went to the game.
He went.
Oh, you went?
I didn't go because demand's too high for Man United fans wanting to go.
Too many fans.
What did you make of it? It must have hurt when Lingard scored an absolute screamer. Let's be fair.
It was a great goal, yeah, but I don't know. It was a tragic day. Really.
Have you ever watched it back?
No.
I didn't speak to him for 2 days. Went right off Matt.
Really?
I was thinking about putting posters up for him.
I thought I saw your face on a milk carton.
I don't know. It's a great day out, obviously, Wembley. And the semi-final, I feel like you lose a sort of special feeling because the semis played at Wembley as well.
Yeah,
they need to get rid of that.
Yeah, I think that's a bit silly, but the result's a result. I think that makes the day. If you lose, you lose, you know what I mean?
Was the worst part that Crystal Palace had kind of completely taken their eye off the league as well and put all their eggs in one FA Cup shaped basket?
Yeah, I mean, we were hoping to get into Europe, obviously, through the FA Cup, which never happened. But, you know, this season I think we're going to rebuild quite a lot. We're looking strong with Benteke up front, so
they were strong.
Go again, really.
Started last season, though, weren't they?
Yeah, we always have a season or two.
You were only behind Spurs on goal difference by Christmas.
Yeah. We went to Leicester away and we were like straight down, So
I think it was like 2 wins in a year or something.
It was really bad.
Yeah.
It was bad. But you're back now.
We're getting there. Yeah, we're getting there slowly but surely. So,
what did you make of last season? The FA Cup, was that enough to salvage the season, or?
No, to be fair, I enjoyed it because I went over to Manchester for the final and it felt like the old days, the vibe was the old days, but then sort of when you come out of it, it's like we're still like not in the Champions League, so it was a good escape from how bad it was in the Premier League, missing out in the top 4. But so I'll salute Van Gaal for that. But I was more delighted the day when he got sacked after. That was the real buzz of the day,
Oh, really? Fair enough. We're going to take a quick break, lads, and then we might play a game with you on the other side of the break as well. We're going to play a little game with you. We are going to play a game with you now. We're going to play a game. It's called What's the Peter Ramage? You ready for this? As ready as you'll ever be. How ready could you possibly be? You'll like this, actually. So let's play a game of What's the Peter Ramage? And here's a picture of him in a Crystal Palace shirt. Now. There we go. Look at that. Slick operation here at FANTV as ever. There he is in his Crystal Palace shirt. So the way the game works, basically, normally we do it with football and memorabilia, but I think one of the nerds who works behind the scenes at FANTV, because it was 50 years to the day of the beginning of Star Trek, was yesterday. So we've changed it today, and it's Star Trek memorabilia today. So if you just tuned in and are expecting a football show, you're in the wrong place. Right, so the way it works is we'll give you a bunch of items, basically, and then you've got to guess the price and whether the next item was higher, or Eric Dyer, or lower, or Leonardo Ulloa than the item before. Do you get that?
Yeah,
basically, the price is right, all right? That's the only bit of football that's going to actually be in this game is when you say Eric Dyer or Leonardo Ulloa. Do you want to play together or against each other?
Together.
Together. Look at that. Real friendship. That's sweet, isn't it? That's sweet. Right, let's get the first item up. What is that? I've never seen a Star Trek in my life. I'm being told in my ear, presumably by my producer, who is the nerd that came up with this game, that this is the model of a DS9. Does anybody know what a DS9 is? How the hell are you going to do this? Have any of you ever seen Star Trek before?
Never seen it.
Brilliant. Four big fans here on the show. Right. The best thing is now you've got to guess how much you reckon that is. What's the going rate for a model of a DS9 nowadays?
Not a clue. 20 quid.
30 quid.
40 quid.
41.99. Someone's a closet Trekkie over there. Someone's a closet Trekkie.
No, mate, I'm not Star Wars.
Right, that one's on us. You're not wrong with that one. So the first price is on us. 41.99. Let's get the second item up. This is an iPhone case, the Star Trek iPhone case. What do you reckon, Ulloa or Dyer?
Ulloa, yeah.
Surely.
Well, you're outranked either way.
Yeah, Ulloa.
It's got to be less than 40 quid, isn't it? How much do you reckon?
20 quid odd.
15 quid.
That 15.
Five, yeah. You're spot on the show. Miles off with your pricing, but right, let's get to the next
It's an iPhone case at the end of the day.
Look at that, a Captain Kirk bobblehead. Admit it, you've got one. I know you've got one. I've seen you, I know you've got
Closet Captain Kirk fan.
yeah, closet Captain Kirk fan. What do you reckon? What's the going rate for a Captain Kirk bobblehead?
Eric Dyer.
Can't be much. Who's got bobbleheads these days?
That is a very good point.
Nah, it's not. They're all on their iPhones now, kids. No one wants that.
What are you going for, Joa?
Joa.
Go for a Joa then.
Going, all three of you going
Less
lower
than a fiver though. Might be more.
Might be going for like collectors.
There could be a collector's love stuff like that. We'll go. I reckon higher. Yeah.
I'll go for it.
Thinking about how low the last
I'll
one
go
was.
Eric
Yeah.
Dyer.
I don't think we have a clue, really.
I think that's the key point here, is that you don't.
Can we phone a friend? Like,
Anybody a Trekkie? The crowd saying hi.
I'll go with Simone Higher.
You're going with Simone Zaza, yeah? He's going with Simone Zaza. Good old Simone, it's $8.99. $8.99. Well done, Simone. Well done, Simone. Good work, lads. Good work. Let's get on another one.
Cool.
Oh, look at that. Just a nice mustard yellow shirt, nice mustard yellow t-shirt. What do you reckon? Higher or lower than a...
Higher.
Is there anything about it apart from the fact it's yellow? Does that have a Star Trek reference?
I don't think you get like special powers or whatever they have in Star Trek. I think it's very much what you see. By the way, with a bit of the digression, but is that white leaf? That's the home kit, is it?
It was 8 years ago, yeah.
It was 8 years ago.
I've never bought a football shirt, so I had to borrow it.
Oh, you had to?
I think it was about 8 years ago, yeah.
So was it one?
Still fits.
That still fits, exactly. You looked after yourself. So what is it? Was it an actual shirt that one of the guys played in? Or can you buy a white leaf shirt?
You can buy white leaf shirts.
You can?
Yeah.
But
you can buy sort of banter white leaf shirts. I want a leaf will tear you apart. And
oh really? Like an inside joke? The most niche joke ever?
Probably the most niche product ever released.
Just walking around London with that on, just hoping that one guy's going to go,
You might bump into the 2 other Whiteley fans.
Yeah, exactly, all 60 of you. Sorry, I digress. What were we doing? Of course we were. We were deciding how expensive
I
this
just reckon a
t-shirt was.
t-shirt has to be more.
Higher,
It's like you could get some use out of that.
People pay.
If that was just a yellow t-shirt, let alone Star Trek, it's got to be about a tenner.
Yeah, it's a good
shot.
Otherwise, some like abusive
could be
mechanisms of making clothes have been used. So
you going higher?
Yeah, Eric Dyer.
Eric Dyer.
I'll go higher, yeah.
$15.99. $15.99. Still in the game. Still in the game. Let's get another one.
Is there a price for this? Or
No, not at all. This is like getting involved on Twitter when you think you know the answer to my teasers. You don't win anything. I have absolutely no. Apparently, that's a. What is it?
What is
it's called a phaser, apparently. What the hell is it? It's a weapon that kills things. I'm being told in my ear. It's a phaser. Oh, it says something along here. An onboard something phaser. Sorry if we're completely insulting Star Trek and you're a big fan, but we have no idea what any of this stuff is. What do you reckon? What's the going rate on a phaser nowadays? Higher or lower than $15.99?
Yeah, people pay for that. But does it have a use, or is it just the Star Trek reference?
I think it's just a replica of something they probably use in Star Trek. I don't think it actually.
I think it's quite expensive, that.
Yeah.
I'll go with
the other thing that you don't get from this is scale. I have no idea how big this thing is. It could be the size of me. Do you know what I mean? I have absolutely no idea.
Looks more like a stapler, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a Star Trek stapler, a supersonic stapler. What do you reckon?
Higher. Well, I'll go with the team. I reckon lower, but go with the team effort. Yeah.
Yeah. General higher. Eric Dyer.
I can't go wrong with it.
You're going higher. You're going Eric Dyer.
Yeah.
What was the last one? $15.99. How much do you reckon it is?
20 quid.
Could be anything.
I reckon about £5 for that.
I reckon I'll go high. I'll go 40 quid.
40 quid.
It's going to be ridiculous, isn't it? What is it?
Do you know?
Do you know?
Like £151.
No way, really? Blimey.
I would love to meet the mug who bought that. What is the point?
There's somebody that's at home who's watching this going, that's a bargain, and then you've just absolutely slayed them. Oh, I don't think this is one of the items. There we go. Apparently Angelotti's in the new Star Trek movie. Is that? Do you reckon he's getting paid more or less than 150 quid to do the movie?
More. They'd need a lot to get him on.
Is this a genuine...
Apparently he's genuinely...
Is this a genuine question?
He's in the Star Trek movie, Carlo Angelotti.
No,
we're doing it for free out of love of the game. Out of the love of Star Trek.
No, I reckon he's just got a load of money for it.
Yeah, no, he's correct. He's just got a load of money for it. Yeah, that's how these things work. I have no idea how Ancelotti ended up in the movie. Does anyone have any clue? There was right. If anyone knows, tweet us. Anyone? Any idea how Ancelotti's ended up in the Star Trek movie? No, nothing. I have absolutely no idea. Right, that was it. That was I think you got a clean sweep there, didn't you?
Yeah.
I think you did. That was another round of What's the Peter Ramage, and then we get to look at him in his Palace shirt. There we go. There we go. He's playing in America nowadays. You'd have him at Whiteleaf. You'd have him at Whiteleaf, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I'll take him in 5 years at Whiteleaf, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Come to Whiteleaf.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Peter, if you're watching, go to Whiteleaf.
Buy Whiteleaf.
Buy Whiteleaf, exactly, yeah.
Help us in any way you can.
Yeah. It must be tough when you're that low down. Like we were saying earlier, we were like, we need to be across the Whiteleaf score, like as the goals are going in, because, you know, and we got on the app and we couldn't find the score. Like, it's obviously difficult to follow the sport down at that level.
Yeah.
Do you go into every season and it's such a complete unknown? You have no idea what you're expected to do, surely?
Pretty much every season the squad completely changes. So you just have absolutely no idea where you're going to place. After a few defeats, you think probably badly.
do you get like attached to players, or because you said that there's a massive exodus of?
Yeah, recently like Roscoe Desade.
Roscoe.
Used to bang them in for AFC Wimbledon.
Oh really?
Yeah, he's been a good bagger over the years.
And then, but, I mean, you get attached to them and then
they leave. Yeah.
And then they leave.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
It's a bit like Simone's love life. He's sat over there going, I'm not even on the sofa anymore. I just want to sit back and enjoy the show. Sorry, Simone. Sorry, mate. But you know what I mean? Like, when obviously, so, you know, Liverpool played.
You can't have a cult hero, really, no.
You can't really have a cult hero. Yeah.
No.
Has anybody have you ever seen anyone with a white leaf tattoo? Please tell me you've got a white leaf tattoo.
I don't have a white leaf
tattoo. Actually, then again, you wouldn't even sing for us. What were the chances of you revealing this? Yeah, here we go.
I'd have to explain the reference to everyone. If Simone had a West Ham tattoo, people would know what that was. If I had like a white leaf.
Yeah, people would be very, very confused. But the thing is, do you know what I mean? So like when Liverpool, we played Hull before the international break, you know, and I can go, oh, well, Liverpool should win that. You go, we're playing Cheshunt today, and you must know absolutely nothing about them or what the scoreline should plausibly be.
You will have been there.
Assume that you lose everything, yeah. Just assume a loss.
You just
wins pretty much, yeah. I assume losing.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? That's kind of where it goes back to what I was saying about, you know, how much do the results matter at that low thing, and I don't want to undermine it.
Well, when we were in the division below, we used to win. We won 7-0 4 times in the season.
Really?
Yeah, so that was, we really expected to win. And then when we didn't win, it hurt, whereas it is more of an unknown in this league. It tends to be
It is a really low level. Like you were saying that you can't find the score. I remember you follow him on Twitter, don't you?
Yeah, Twitter.
Yeah, I remember he couldn't follow the score on Twitter once because the guy who runs the account had been thrown out.
So you were just sitting there, just no idea what the score was, and you just have to wait until.
I rely on a WhatsApp group, but sometimes people wind me up and they're 2-0 down.
Oh,
so
really?
I'm walking off team and like.
You can't just check Sky.
Get the manager out.
It's
FANTV needs to provide that service, don't I?
FANTV provides that service, right? There's a lot of pressure. It's going to be exclusively across Whiteleaf from now on. We can do a bit of that. We've done a bit of non-league on this stuff. I love it. Absolutely, I love it. And so you're saying they're struggling this year?
Struggling this year, yeah.
Struggling as in worried that they might.
I hope we don't drop back down to the Kent League. We're from Surrey, but we played in the Kent League.
That's when you know you're playing badly. You get thrown out your own county.
When it's named after a county, you know, that's when we're in the Ryman Division 1 South. We've got a stationary backer behind the league, and once we lose that stationary backer,
where you can buy that 150 quid stapler.
Yeah. So it's not been a good season, but hopefully someone will watch FANTV and think I want to buy the club and take us up the league.
Yeah, if there's any rich sheikhs watching the show, or any oligarchs from Russia watching the show that fancy buying a football club.
If we were doing a Salford, I would have no worries with that at all. So
even though you've got a problem with Salford,
I would throw my morals out the window for a few promotions. Yeah,
it's one of those, isn't it? Everyone always sits there and goes, "Oh, Man City are buying the league," but if anyone
I understand why they love it, because I would love it. If I was a Salford fan, I would unless they changed the colour of our kit or banned me.
Or you became the Whiteleaf Tigers.
Or we became the Whiteleaf Tigers. If we got...
Or banned me. I'd love that. So loyal. One of the few that was there at the beginning. No,
that's what they do.
To be fair, that would annoy me though. If Whiteleaf became good and Simone starts going, I think, well, where were you when we were losing 4-0 at Folkestone?
Yeah.
And I would be one of the originals.
That is a very good point. Yeah. One of the 60...
Tarrant, you'd be showing up. Just, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just there, just jumping on the bandwagon. Yeah, in every Whiteleaf game. Exactly. Oh yeah. Do you not remember 4-0 Folkestone? Who remembers that? Am I right, lads? There's only
be about 20 of us who remembered.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that must have been a dark day. Was that the worst result you've ever witnessed in the flesh?
Oh no.
Go on. Said it like a broken man. Oh God, no.
Well,
I
you flew somewhere, didn't you? You
flew flying to Guernsey to lose in the last minute. That was.
You got a plane to Guernsey
I sat next to the ref on the way back, and I said, we should have had a penalty there in the last minute. And he said, looking back on it, you probably should.
Makes it worse.
I said, it's no use now. On the pitch, if you'd have made that decision, I've flown all the way to Guernsey, 150 quid of my own money. Yeah.
I love that. Imagine just being sat next to Clattenburg on the bus on the home game. Probably should have had a pen there, Mark. Yeah, you're probably.
But on to the question. The 5-0 loss in the pouring rain with no cover away at Hythe was a low point. I did start questioning what I am doing. There is a lot of that. I think all of us sort of think, what are we doing? A lot of the time.
Yeah.
But there is good moments.
Exactly. A lot of them are married as well, and like.
Get away from the wives and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Get away from the wives. Not a problem. Simone Zaza had. Right. I think we're going to go to a quick break. We have a tweet actually. Sorry, that we can show you now. There we go, Chris. Oh man, Chris, spot on with the two. That was one of Toby's tea time teasers. Those are the two men that have scored hat-tricks against England in the last 57 years. Marco van Basten and Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Of course, the Zlatan one. I completely forgot about the Zlatan one.
Yeah,
of course, yeah. Not a bad hat-trick either.
Was that for Sweden?
Yeah, Sweden. Yeah,
I do remember now. Yeah.
Probably would have been for Sweden against England. You know, that's kind of how it works. All right, we are going to go to a quick break. Well done to Chris for getting involved on Twitter and correctly winning that. You win absolutely nothing. You can win a Whiteleaf shirt. You're going to give me a shirt off your own back.
You can have my shirt.
Chris, Chris, do you hear that? You got a Whiteleaf shirt coming your way. He lives in Spain. That Chris, by the way, he's a fan.
That's brilliant. If he wants it, he can have it.
Yeah, brilliant. Spread the name of Whiteleaf to the Costa del Sol. We're going to go straight to Skype. Another huge international game that's happening. Roger is with us, who's a German football fan, and they are at home to Czech Republic a bit later on. Hello, mate. How are you doing? All right?
Hi there, guys. How are you doing? Back from the top man changing room.
Yeah. Roger always Skypes us from very strange places. His latest one is a top man changing room by the look of things. He's normally talking about Manchester City, but you're going to talk to us about Germany now, Roger.
Yeah.
So huge game for them. Is this the biggest threat in your group, Czech Republic? Just the rest of your group, Azerbaijan, Norway, San Marino. Is this the biggest challenge?
Yeah, I mean, of course. Germany had always some difficulties against the Czech Republic in the past couple of years. I don't know why, because the Czech Republic is more, in the past years, gone a bit down since obviously Rosicki not there anymore, Jan Koller not been there. They're always a threat against Germany.
What were you expecting from the team? The lineup is out. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but any surprises? Were you expecting anything different from the German?
I've not actually seen it because it might have just come out 5 minutes ago, I think.
Yeah, it came out literally 5 minutes ago. I think we can put it up. Here we go. So I can tell you it is Neuer, Hector, Hummels, Khedira, Draxler, Kroos, Ozil, Müller, Boateng, Kimmich and Götze. So any surprises in that lineup at all?
Yeah, Mario Götze is a big surprise. I think because he didn't have, he's not found his form yet that he was in the past couple of years, I think. But he's always played well for Germany. That's a weird thing. But I think it was the same with Lucas Podolski actually. He was always playing better for the national team rather than for the club. No surprises there. I think, did you say that Gundogan was playing?
No, I didn't see Gundogan's name on there. So
right, that's a surprise because I thought he's going to walk straight into the team for Götze, and I thought that Müller is going to play up front and that Ozil is going to play on the wings. But apart from that, no real surprises, no.
I mean, they've just got a conveyor belt of talent, really, Germany, don't they? You should comfortably win this group. Are you expecting to win tonight and win the group?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the German media is expecting Germany to walk through the group, win all matches, there's always a surprise or two. So, but I'm thinking, now at the moment, they should beat, Czech Republic comfortably.
What is the state of German football at the moment? Obviously, they got knocked out at the Euros on the back of being world champions. That must have been gutting for the German fans. Are you expecting to now recover in time for the World Cup and go on to potentially win that tournament?
I think the European Championships were a little bit of a problem because People like Schweinsteiger, who was like one of the biggest players for them in the World Championships 2014, had a little bit, or well, not a little bit, but a lot of injuries. And just coming back from injury in the tournament, and then obviously Müller not finding the net as well. It was always, to be a hard time, with players like Lahm, Mertesacker retiring as well. So and also Miroslav Klose, because when you just see Miroslav Klose's record for Germany, I think they were always going to struggle. But I think now for the World Championships they've got a better team. But then looking at the other nations as well, they've got really good teams as well, especially France. Brazil coming back now, Argentina has always been there. England, if they can find a good manager.
Don't be silly. We're not expecting much from the We're not expecting much from the World Cup. Don't worry about us.
Well, actually, I've seen that Roberto Mancini is at the game today, so you might get Bobby Mank. So it's I think that will be a good manager for for England, because like the thing with England is what the people in Germany are always saying, and not only me. Like England has a very good team with very good players, but the problem is they don't have a real mentality. They don't have a system that they play from the youth on. But I think if you get the right manager and he does the right things, then you could do very, very well.
Yeah, hopefully. Before we let you go, mate, what's a prediction for the Germany-Czech Republic score?
Let's go at 3-0.
3-0, yeah? Perfect, mate. Always good to hear from you. Thank you for Skyping us. Enjoy the game tonight.
All right, cheers, lads.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Cheers, bye-bye.
He's spot on there, isn't he? About how, we've got the players, England, but do we just lack an identity? Is that the word? You look at Spain and you kind of know what to expect from them. Germans, you kind of know what to expect from them. But England, they look a bit like they've never met. They look like 11 strangers out there.
It's more mentality than identity.
I think it's everything, like mentality of the FA to the fans to the pundits to everyone. Like,
the media constantly knocking England.
Yeah.
We don't know how we want to play either. We're not sure we want to play long football over the top, passing football.
Yeah.
And the constant changes in managers is not going to help either recently. So.
Yeah, certainly not. So you've got Roy Hodgson trying to play a passing game one day, and then Sam Allardyce coming in. It was interesting when we were sat here with Stuart and the Magic Mod, and we were saying how we prefer our clubs to our country. Maybe it's not right that's the case, but it is the case. We can't help that. Are you guys all the same? Even a little white leaf?
We're a generation who've grown up and never seen England do anything at a tournament. I mean, once you're let down time and time again, it's hard to get yourself back up for it, I think.
Like you sort of care about your club more, but if England winning the World Cup, I'd choose over anything in like Man United related or anything, So I think it's just that we're bad.
That's it. I think that that's a FANTV exclusive. England are bad at football. That's definitely a fact. Let's move back onto your clubs. Crystal Palace. Let's start. Start with Palace. So we talked a bit about last season in the FA Cup. We won't go back into it. We've done that. This season though, things are looking up.
Yeah, it's looking good. Lots of good signings over the summer. Still got Remy to come back as well. The start of the season was a bit shaky, and a lot of people on Twitter were giving it Pardew out following the second half of the last season. But now we've got Benteke up top. I feel like we're playing really well and supplying the balls and score goals. Perfect signing for us.
Yeah, complete fit for the club.
Yeah, he is perfect, isn't he? He's a great signing.
Balls in, head it in. Happy days.
Yeah, exactly. Yannick Bolasie, he's obviously gone to Everton, £30 million. He's not really hit the ground running there. He's struggling a bit there. Were you surprised when you got £30 million for him?
Yeah, snapped their arm off, let him go straight away. He was a great player, but he was a bit on and off. He didn't always have a good game, did he?
He was inconsistent.
Few good tricks, beats two men, never lose the ball.
He'd frustrate you so much when he Townsend's a bit more like...
Townsend for 10 million,
solid.
Bolasie selling him for 30.
Yeah.
Everyone can see that's
All
good
day.
business, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Does it feel like a bit of a new slate this season? Because there's a few big players that were there, your Jedinak's gone, someone like Speroni obviously doesn't get the team and stuff like that. So a lot of the big names that were nucleus of that team have
we've lost our core from when we came up, sort of thing. But you have to do that to build, don't you? I mean, it's sad to lose players like Jedinak, who are sort of club heroes as such, but you can't allow him to play if he's not good enough. I mean, even Kabay now has been dropped, which was our marquee signing, do you know what I mean?
Exactly. And when he first arrived, he was sensational as well.
And it says a lot, so it's good in a way. It means we're moving on as a club, we're growing and trying to expand and become a bigger, sort of have a bigger stance in the Premier League.
Yeah, if you'd said a few years ago that Kabay wasn't going to get in the Palace team,
you would have.
We used to be excited about like James Vaughan. We really thought he was the man. It was unthinkable. Really.
Fraser Campbell or something like that.
Get rid of him.
He was useless. He was hopeless.
Still got him.
Have you guys got like a?
He will not leave.
Fraser Campbell won't go. We had some Palace fans actually sat on that exact sofa and said his best contribution to Palace is when he's injured. He's most useful when he's in the.
You'd rather him than Bamford though, right?
Yeah, anyone but Bamford. Yeah.
Anyone but Bamford. Are you involved with Palace as well? Because you seem to know a fair bit about them.
Yeah, and I've been to quite a few of the away games because my best mates both support Palace. Sorry, mate. I can see.
Absolutely pied you off.
Just getting the Zaza treatment.
Well, let us know. We'll get him on the show next time.
Well, I only met him at uni. My long-standing friends both support Palace, so I just got into it. But since they're in the Premier League, I have gone less. But yeah, we've been to places like Wigan, Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah. Is there anyone now who are the fans really like? Who's their cult hero? Because I associate Palace with having a cult hero at all times, really.
The only name you'd probably say is Jimmy Mack in the middle, everyone loves, and Zaha. Yeah, it's got to be Zaha.
Really, yeah.
I feel like it's been a bit harsh. I think he deserves a chance in that England team.
I think that Zaha, I think having Benteke is suddenly going to make Zaha look a whole lot better as well. I mean, I wouldn't cross the ball either if Fraser Campbell's waiting in the middle with his hand in the air.
It's not a bad point.
What's the point? We're going to go into a quick break and we'll play another quick game for you as well. Let's play Pampered Pooches. Let's do it. There we go. Look at that. Yes, still the most low budget thing I've ever seen. That it's so shoddy, isn't it? Right, here it is. So we'll show you a dog, and then there you go. That's it. Game over. No, there it is. You got to guess the footballer. You got to guess the footballer that owns it.
Every
thing is, right. So I said this when they first suggested this idea. I was like, well, who's going to know that? The amount of people that have been getting these right, but you don't look like three that are about to. So you've got like 2 minutes to think.
Who have you got down as a dog person?
That narrows down the front of this from all 300,000 professional players to about 180,000.
I reckon Zaha has more cats, to be fair.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a clue.
What do you mean? You don't know whether your Crystal Palace player is a dog or cat? You don't know anything about your club. Right, we're going to go to a quick break and then we'll reveal the answer to Pampered Pooches. I can't wait. Let's cut to our man Dan, who has been kindly watching the game for us and getting in touch. Hello, mate. How you doing? All right?
Well, I don't know why you've got me watching this game. I swear I'm falling asleep at this point. Sure, 81,000 fans at Wembley are as well. England have literally come out in the second half. They've just been passing the ball around. I think they've got a don't shoot policy going on. It's ridiculous.
I love how we've forced you to watch this as well. You probably would have gone off and done something different by now, but instead you've got to report the England game for us. It's that bad, is it?
Well, basically, what I can say about England is we've done a lot of diagonal passes out of the wing, which is, I suppose, which is all right, but about 50% of them aren't even reaching the winger. What's happening is every time England are sort of starting to push on and going near the box, you may have Jordan Henderson driving it in a little bit and Wayne Rooney, even Jesse Lingard. It's gotten to the point where you see that England have an opportunity to shoot, and whoever's got the ball has just decided to go, "Nah, you're all right." Have a little cheeky through ball, which isn't going to be reaching the striker, who's about 2 yards in front of him. It's happened on so many occasions today. It also seems as though England have forgotten how to counter-attack, so they're pretty much waiting for Malta to park the bus before they try and put the ball into the box again. It's just been a bit stale, if I'm totally honest with you, Toby.
Fair enough. It's not like England to put in a stale performance. Surely not, Dan. Surely not. Jordan Henderson apparently man of the match. I mean, that probably sums up that England aren't playing very well, doesn't it?
Well, Henderson's got it because he's had the one assist. But if I'm totally honest with you, I've not been too impressed with his performance. Once again, he doesn't drive forward. He kind of takes the ball to a certain area, stops still. None of the players in front of him are moving. Then he decides to stick a ball out of the wing. It's been very predictable. Now, if we weren't playing against Malta, Jordan Henderson would be getting slated because he'd be getting tackled a lot of the time. There's not a lot of pressure on him, if I'm totally honest with you. Me personally, I don't really think that Henderson and Rooney really works the partnership. Both Andre Pirlo, unfortunately, they're not quite as good as him.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. I can tell you as a Liverpool fan, Henderson is not as good as Pirlo. That's another FANTV exclusive, by the way. With Joe Hart, we don't get to see much of Joe at the moment because obviously he's on loan at Torino. Has he had any work to do at all? Please tell me Malta haven't come close to scoring.
Not really, to be honest. I mean, Effiong kind of pushed the ball forward a little bit and then he managed to force a throw-in. Fortunately, it was an England throw-in. There was a one free kick for Malta near the edge of the box. Of course, the Coventry City legend, Michael Mifsud, came on and managed to draw that.
You've got a Manchester United fan on the sofa. Don't bring up Michael Mifsud. Do you remember him knocking you out the League Cup a few years ago?
Oh yeah.
Scored a brace for was it Coventry when he knocked him out?
Yeah, Coventry.
Yeah, it was Coventry. Yeah, sorry to bring that up. Well, we mentioned the FA Cup final. It's only fair. So, anyone else? What sub-wise? Who's he brought on? So I'm interested to know who Southgate's looking at. Has Rashford come on?
Yeah, Rashford's on. So's Jamie Vardy, which I'm happy about. But it's just kind of come at a point where, well, neither of them are really going to be benefiting from long through balls. If I'm totally honest with you, not at this point. And I just feel as though Southgate hasn't really gotten the players experimenting too much. They're walking around the pitch. What I would like to see is perhaps Rashford and Vardy getting the ball and then maybe trying to dribble onwards, but that hasn't seemed to be the plan from England today. It doesn't seem to be an idea of trying to dribble through defence. It's very much trying to get the ball over the defence. Now, at the moment, I don't think England are going to score again, unfortunately. It hasn't quite clicked for them, and I think Southgate needs to work on finding a different system.
Fair enough. Just how long's left in that game there, Dan?
It's another minute. It's another minute. It's going to end 2-0 by the looks of it, and that's. I have to say, it's not a great result. I'm not happy with it, if I'm totally honest with you, because we should have scored a lot more goals today. A second half whereby we haven't scored a single goal against Malta, it just kind of tells you how poor it is and just sort of how much effort is going into it. And 81,000 people in Wembley, you'd have thought for a sellout there that England would be a little bit more pumped up, but unfortunately, it's going to end 2-0. It's a victory nonetheless. Probably make it through the group, but as I say, it's just very uninspiring.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, Scotland beat them 5-1, so it doesn't make us look great, does it, Dan? Dan, mate, really appreciate you reporting in for us and having to sit through that turgid England display and keeping us up to date, so we appreciate it. Although somebody on the sofa did make a good point that for our England football correspondent, you are in a T-shirt that says Italy.
Yeah, well, I mean, we might as well be Italy at the moment. Just keep everybody behind the ball. I like Italy.
Fair enough. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much, Dan. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, mate. We've not too much longer left. I just want to kind of wrap up on England. Obviously, it is an international break. First of all, your initial reaction to 2-0 at home to Malta?
Southgate out. What did we expect getting Gareth Southgate? Is that what it's come to?
To be fair, anyone's better than Hodgson, mate. After he was the worst manager England have ever had.
Roy Hodgson, yeah. he was particularly hopeless.
If we had another hour, I'd go into it, but
yeah, exactly. Yeah, be careful.
It puts life into perspective because England are beyond depressing. But I'm sick of it.
And that's coming from a White Leaf fan.
Coming from a White Leaf fan, beyond depressing.
We'll quickly, to lighten us up a bit because we're in a foul mood after England only winning 2-0. We can reveal the dog. Have you any ideas, lads? You had 2 minutes to think of it.
Harry Kane.
Giroud,
yeah.
Got 2 for Giroud, 1 for Harry Kane. Let's have a look. I can't even work out either. Oh, it's Beckham, is it? Yeah, it's Beckham. Looking a bit ropey there, Bex. Well, there you go. I mean,
he's let himself go, hasn't he?
He has let himself go. Yeah, I love it. It's 4 of us sat here in just very average shape. Going, God, Davis with the record, isn't it? Oh God, Beckham's let himself go. That poll earlier that we sent out about which ex-England player you'd like to have in the dugout, and David Beckham got 40-odd%. I mean, surely not. We can't have David Beckham, can we? Ever. Even if he did all the badges in the world.
I'd rather him than Hodgson.
Would you? You'd genuinely have David Beckham?
I'd rather you than Hodgson. Genuinely.
Yeah, here we go. Hashtag Tarrant.
Hodgson was beyond bad. Like, he should have faced more punishment for the job he did for England.
Rather than losing his job.
No, I think
he started taking it personally.
Like, done a sentence at Belmarsh or something. just a joke. Like, if you perform that badly at any job, like just to be have to resign.
Well, to be fair, then I'd be in Belmarsh the way that I do this show. I'd have been in Belmarsh. Ages ago. We also had the results from the final poll that we ran, poll number 3 on Twitter. Thank you everyone that got involved. There we go, post 2000, who's been the best England player overall? 52% the same man, David Beckham, 22% Rooney, 22% Gerrard, 12% Rooney, 14% Cole. 52% on David Beckham. Right, I'm throwing out there, and you're not going to like this because you're a Manchester United fan, but David Beckham is the most overrated footballer in footballing history. There I said it. There I said it. He got 30 caps too many for being good looking and for being David Beckham. Didn't score too many goals, you know. Was it?
People remember the sort of iconic moments of his career, like the goal against Greece and the goal where he's against Wimbledon behind the halfway line. But as a footballer, I definitely agree with you. Yeah,
he was still good, but yeah, He's compared to like Ronaldo and George Best in fame, but he's not in their leagues.
It's the brand of David Beckham.
He was still good.
Like,
that's
better than me. Like.
That's it. But I just feel like his career went on. The other thing was
Beckham's getting slated.
The deals he was getting at the end of his career still. So he'd gone and played in the MLS, which at that point was at a very low standard as well. It's much better now than it was. And he still managed to score a contract at Paris Saint-Germain, AC Milan. And that is purely from being David Beckham.
Just touring the high spots of Europe, really.
Yeah, exactly.
On his name.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not begrudging David here. If Milan, if they offer me to go and pay a fortune to go play football in Milan, I'll go.
Good luck to the bloke.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I just wanted to throw it out there. I'm sorry if I've upset all those people that voted for David Beckham, that I do think he is one of the most overrated footballers of all time. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to get more momentum for this Tarrant Out campaign.
Yeah, exactly. Hashtag Tarrant Out.
Offend as many people as possible.
It's got, yeah, exactly. In my ear, my producer's just gone, the hashtag Tarrant Out campaign's got 50 new followers. So I should explain this as well, right? So it started off, so basically it all happened because I upset this poor guy that was sitting here on the sofa, right? And then hashtag Tarrant Out started like getting tweeted a bit, like after taking the mick out of this guy. And next thing I know, somebody's genuinely set up a Twitter account, hashtag Tarrant Out. So if you want to go and sign up, if you've not been happy with the work that I've done today, if you want to see Kiri back on Saturday, then fill your boots, go and join that as well. I think we've got some tweets coming in as well. Thank you everyone that's been getting involved. When you think Justin Lee Collins will present, but it ends up being Toby Tarrant. Don't worry, Justin Lee Collins will be back on every Tuesday and Thursday from now on, but you still will have to put up with me from Wednesday and Friday. We've got another tweet here from the hashtag Tarrant Out campaign. Here's Toby Tarrant arriving for work today. 26 fans had to be restrained as the Tarrant Out campaign gathers pace. Brilliant. I am literally dressed in the exact same outfit he's wearing there. Look how angry they are with me in the background as well. I don't even know who that is. I've never seen that bloke before in my life.
Oh, that's quite a flattering comparison, though.
And I think I've been called a lot worse than Tom Hiddleston. It's a shame that it's part of the hashtag Tarrant Out campaign. And that hashtag Tarrant Out, genuinely, the Twitter account, nothing to do with us. I just came into work one day and they were like, have you seen this? Some blokes just set up hashtag Tarrant Out. Look, feel free to get involved. We've worked out I've got to survive till October 18th, and then I've lasted longer than Sam Allardyce did in his job. So if I survive till October 18th with this one, at the moment that looks a long way away. A long way away, I've got to say. And genuinely, the thing that we want to start get going, well, I don't want to start get going, but the people behind the scenes want, is for people to hang a hashtag Tarrant Out banner if you're going to any live football matches. If you can, sneak in and dangle a hashtag Tarrant Out banner, feel free to do it. I'm not very happy about this, but the people behind the scenes really want to see this. Whiteleaf, you promised me you're going to do one?
I'll get a Tarrant Out banner.
In Whiteleaf?
Yeah.
Will you send us a photo of you guys with the hashtag Tarrant Out banner at a Whiteleaf game?
Yeah, we'll be down there.
Yeah?
We'll get that.
Although Chris Tarrant might be a bit confused as to why.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing, because I'm going to the Reading game. I was saying I might do it at the Reading game, but he's going to be there going, what have I done? Sorry, it's me, Dan. It's me. Don't worry about it.
Is he part of the board?
No, he's not.
Could be seen as a statement, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, he's not, sadly. Yeah, I'll tell him. Yeah, gutted. I mean, he never had to put up with this in his career. He never had a hashtag Tarrant Out campaign, and he had like a 60-year career. Here I am, 50 days in. The fans are revolting. What's going on?
Tarnishing the Tarrant name.
What I'm trying to think what other grounds you can get into. Selhurst Park. Hashtag Tarrant Out. Get a hashtag Tarrant Out. Man, Old Trafford, that's easy. You
can Old Trafford,
You can
surf it over the Stretford end, Tarrant Out.
Put it over where it says the Sir Alex Ferguson stand, if you could dangle it there. It's going to get out of hand, this. I'm going to be sat like watching a Reading game one week and they're going to do the thing where they rent a plane. That's it. He's going to be spelling it in the sky like that. I'm going, what's going on here? Right, we've got a couple of minutes to go. Let's get back to football. Tarrant's in by vote. I want to get some predictions for the season. Crystal Palace, what do you think they can do?
I'll probably go 8th, which I think is optimistic anyway. But yeah, 8th.
That is optimistic.
Yeah. If we keep the first side out, Benteke keeps scoring. Don't see why not. So
cup run?
Possibly.
Take it as it comes.
Yeah, see what happens really. So 8th.
Whiteleaf.
Solid 19th.
Solid 19th out of
24.
24. So that will just keep you safe.
Well, keep us safe. But the amount of teams that go bust in non-league, you're pretty safe. Like, there tends to be 1 or 2 relegated.
Oh, right, yeah. So they'll get dragged down with you. And
maybe 15th if it's a good. You know.
And I'm sorry we've not had a chance to talk about your second team as well, Oxford United.
That's actually, we're doing well.
Yeah,
Appleton's a really good manager.
He's doing well, isn't he? 10th at the minute, I think, Oxford.
10th at the minute, yeah. Just got promoted back to League One for the first time in 15 years. So promising times at Oxford United.
How good was the win over Bolton as well?
It was. I hadn't slept and I was there, but it was good.
Where'd you?
I would have enjoyed it more. I was at an abandoned Woolworths, so I probably would have enjoyed it more if I was awake. But yeah, great. Beating Swindon 6 in a row as well. A big rival, 6 times in a row. Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah,
love that.
Yeah, and Reading as well. I appreciate you being so nice.
I think we'll get playoffs. Yes. Prediction 6th for Oxford.
Prediction 6th for Oxford. Playoffs. 8 for Palace. Manchester United.
Mate, I'll go first. Just
first?
Reel a few in on Twitter, yeah.
Blimey.
First. Wow, big claim. What do you guys reckon about that?
Delusional. Yeah, just reel a few in off Twitter, see what they say.
Just see, yeah, exactly, yeah. We'll just see what they say on Twitter. Cup run?
Win the cup as well, yeah.
Just the cup. Just not anything specific. Guys.
Nah.
Final in the Europa League.
Final, yeah.
So, yeah.
Lose out in the final.
Lose out in the final, yeah. Lads, thank you so much. Nice to meet you all. Enjoy the rest of your season. Good luck to Whiteleaf. And I think there's some fans of. Oh, this is ridiculous. Here we go.